Hello, hello, welcome back, Halftime TV. Miranda Brown here, your host, and today we have an interesting topic. As per usual, we will be discussing what went wrong, what did Theodore Whitmore get wrong, what did the Reggae Boys get wrong, and what are the reasons we are heading back to Jamaica instead of progressing to the semifinal round to face Qatar. I'll go into that and a whole lot more later on in the show. If you haven't done so, go ahead and hit that like button, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. We'll be here for the next hour or so. But as I said, we're still heartbroken. The the tournament was one that was bittersweet. We had high expectations for the boys going into the tournament. One of the best squads fielded in the tournament. One of the best squads that I've seen the Reggae Boys put forward in quite some time. So to see them go out of the tournament the way they did, I must say they underachieved greatly, and some fingers need to be pointed. I said before the tournament began that I won't be pointing any fingers during the tournament, and I won't be blaming anyone because I wanted to ensure that the boys were fully focused on what was happening in the tournament. Now that's done and dusted. The tournament is now behind us. It's yesterday. It's yesterday's topic. We were now the morning after or the day after, for lack of a better term, and we will be going into that. We'll be discussing everything that there is to discuss because I guarantee you there are a lot of talking points. I covered a few of them in my review of of the game against the United States of America, but that doesn't go even close to the bigger picture, to the entire the entire picture of what we saw at the Gold Cup from the Reggae Boys. Now, if you're just jumping on, hit that like button. You can hop in the comments as well. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. We will be going back to regular programming of Ball Talk. For those who've been here with us since day one, you know what Ball Talk is. It's a regular Monday night discussion where we discuss what happened over the weekend of football. We discuss fantasy football. We discuss international football, and we have our giveaways as well, where we ensure that the supporters they receive something. We give back a little. Put it that way. All right. So again, Ball Talk, welcome back to all the Ball Talk supporters. Welcome back. We will be delving into to what Theodore Whitmore got wrong. Today, the YouTube was flooded with videos and content about Theodore Whitmore and the end of his tenure and what you thought if it was time for him to go or all of that. I don't even think it's a discussion anymore. It's not a topic that warrants two sides because I think that this is it. This is it. This should in fact be the end of the road. The argument will be put forward that the World Cup qualifiers are just around the corner. It's what, a month away. I was scrolling through Instagram earlier today and I saw one of the players posted a picture and apologizing on all of that, and someone else commented and said they'd give up the Gold Cup in in, um, in exchange for the World Cup any day. We would too, but well, we know what that is. That is getting the hopes up again and taking our mind off the disappointment that is in front of us. And disappointment that is in front of us is the fact that the United States fielded a team with majority players we've been hearing about for the first time since the beginning of the tournament. A lot of the kids that played against Jamaica last night, this was their first tournament. The youngster I mentioned, Busio, he received his first US cap 3 weeks or 2 weeks before the Gold Cup began. So this is a young man probably on his fourth or fifth game at 19 years old. And he walked on us last night. If I'm to be honest with you guys, if you watch the game, I posted my video. A bunch of folks in the comment section said it was an excellent game for Jamaica, but they just didn't put away their chances. We'll get to that too. We'll get to that too, because chances don't win you matches. Goals do. All right. So chances don't win you matches. Goals do. I hope you bear that in mind. And whenever you're discussing football, or the lessons or your takeaways from whatever game it is, you don't mention the amount of chance or the number of chances that were created, because at the end of the day, 3 days after today, no one will remember the chances that were created. They will remember the scoreline though. They'll be able to tell you that, okay, this team beat the Reggae Boyz, or the Reggae Boyz beat this team by X amount of goals, not X amount of chances, not X amount of opportunities created or anything like that, but X amount of goals, because that's what wins the matches. And at the end of the day, that's what is represented on the score sheet, not the statistics of possession, not the statistics of passing accuracy. None of those matter, but goals do. All right, we failed to score in 2 games back to back. The Costa Rica game, we drew a blank. Against the United States, again, another blank. So with all the firepower, and I even did a video about it going into the tournament. The video was titled "Reggae Boyz Have Enough Firepower to Put Out a Rainforest." So with all that firepower, we still didn't have anyone in the tournament who scored 2 goals. Right? We scored 4 goals. All 4 came from different goal scorers. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a striker problem, but I can't see it. Welcome, Mr. Mary. Folks, if you're on here and you haven't checked out Mr. Mary Entertainment, upcoming entertainer. So some really good music on his Vivo. You can check him out at Mr. Mary on YouTube as well. All right. So as I said, really promising entertainer. You can go ahead and check out some of his music, and let me know your feedback in a couple of days too, because I know you're always in the comment section. Leon Bailey, I didn't get any new information today as it relates to his injuries or the reasons behind him not playing last night, but I'm still waiting. I won't speculate because I don't have the facts as yet. But as I said, he was warming up for quite a long time, and he didn't get to go on the pitch. And I think he would have made a difference. I had that game last night against the United States as Leon Bailey's as his game, because even in my preview I said this game was supposed to be Leon Bailey's coming of age with the Reggae Boyz. We haven't had an 8 out of 10 performance, or 8.5. I put it at 8. We haven't had an 8 out of 10 performance from Leon Bailey since he started playing for Jamaica. And I was banking on that game last night to be the game. That wasn't the case because he didn't even get on the pitch. So dibs on me, pies in my face. But again, folks, we're still waiting to see what's next. I'll drop the link right now. Remember, hit the like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well. The more you like the video, the more it gets recognized, and the more traffic it generates. All right. So I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section now. If you wanna join, share your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I like to hear opposite views, because sometimes me being on here, it becomes a bit monotonous, and it sounds a bit repetitive too. So I like to hear some new voices. We like to hear some new opinions as well. What do you guys think are the takeaways from the tournament in general? What lessons were there to be learned? We saw the Japan tour prior to the tournament. We did really badly in that Japan tour. We saw them in the Gold Cup, and it was bittersweet. I think the performance at the Gold Cup I'd rank it maybe a 5.5 out of 10 in general, considering all 4 games. I think the Suriname game, we did okay for the first half. The Guadeloupe game, we did okay again, but these are teams that we should be beating because, for one, as I said, Guadeloupe is a territory of France, so it's not even a a full-on country by itself, right? The Guadeloupe individuals have voted in French elections, so it's I don't know. I'm waiting to see though. Anyway, as I said, I'll be dropping the link now. So if you want to hop on, you can hop on. Let me know what your views are. Let me know what you think. Um, Let me know what you think. The Reggae Boyz, they're out of the Gold Cup. We're still licking the wounds. Leon Bailey didn't play. Who is to blame for the goal? I don't like pointing fingers, but I can see through that goal, and I think the culpable personnel uh, for that goal, they know themselves, and I don't need to bash them in order for them to correct their mistakes. I think we have the World Cup qualifiers coming up in maybe 6 weeks or so. I'm not optimistic. I'm not optimistic. I was hopeful going into that game against the United States. If I'm to be honest with myself, it's one of those games where I expected the Reggae Boyz to do better because of the quality they had. But at the same time, as I said in the preview at the back end, the United States had a better team. All right. So the team, the players coming in, knowing what is expected of them. And I plan on doing a video on the formation as well, because we had a bunch of different discussions about what formation Theodore Whitmore would send out on the day. And it turns out no one was right, because all the formations that were put out on the day were different from what was predicted. And I plan on doing a video, hopefully, if the formation is even necessary, because as we saw with the US team, everyone who went in understood their role. So what is more important? Is it the formation, or is it the understanding of your role? Because when players come in who understand their role, regardless of the formation that you're playing, you're going to get the job done because they understand what is expected of them. I don't see the same thing with the Reggae Boyz team. And maybe it is an issue with the coach. I don't know. Because we see it in international football, we see it in club football a lot as well. When things are going right, we praise the players, we praise the individuals in that team. But as soon as things start going badly, then the fingers, they begin pointing at the managers. So the managers never get the glory of winning, the players do. But when it comes to losing, the managers, they have to shoulder that full responsibility. And do I think it's unfair? Sometimes, but sometimes it's warranted as well. Because, for example, what Theodore Whitmore did, kind of taking a Gareth Southgate approach, in my opinion. So yeah, you have your best players or your most creative players on the bench, and you're going out there cautious and conservative because you don't want to. You prefer not to lose the game. Well, Jamaica lost the game, so your plan backfired, and you have a lot of angry fans right now. Because as I said, YouTube, if you're watching my video, you can skip over to the next video. You can skip over to the next video. Most of the content creators who create content on the Reggae Boyz, today they were furious. And they did videos, they did live chats, they did streams, the whole works, you name it. It is there on YouTube because they're not satisfied. They're embarrassed. They're disgruntled. I can't even find all the superlatives, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it's when it's a foul they had, and it's not the Gold Cup. It's a flight with the ballers. It does make for a good showing, right? And I know last night in the dressing room, it wasn't a pretty scene. With the players, I know they were furious, they were angry, but they left it all on the pitch for the most part, and they can only be blamed so much. All right, I have some friends in the national team, or some individuals that I have discussions with every now and then, And I think I saw it. I saw that they wanted to win it. They valued the Gold Cup, and I know it might not mean much to a lot of folks who watch the Reggae Boys. They might not consider it one of the top cups, but it is a cup, and this Gold Cup was the ideal opportunity for the Reggae Boys to get their hands on it, right? The the opportunity was taken from underneath from underneath their grasp by the United States team because they didn't finish because their coach made bad decisions and because the team didn't play to its fullest potential then. All right. Again, folks, if you have any comments or anything that you want to say on the matter, the link is right there. You can hop on and we can have a chat about it because I, I watched the game and I watched it over. I watched the game maybe 3 times already. And there are a number of different areas where I could point out that we went wrong, such as football. Once you don't take the chance, that's what's going to happen. Okay, I agree with you, Tevin. I agree with you. And when I watched that first half, because at the end of the first half, Jamaica had 35% ball possession, right? They couldn't put the passes together either. So the passing accuracy was way off. And I said, this is going to be a 1-0 game. So whoever converts that half a chance will be victorious in this game because it was set up to be a 1-0 game. As soon as we got to the 20-minute mark, we saw that there wasn't going to be more than one goal in that game. And I was speaking to a player who was a part of the 60-man pool, but he wasn't a part of the 23. We were having discussion throughout the game. And I was pointing out some different areas of the game that needed work and some loopholes that could be exploited and all of that. And he said to me, he said it's easier for us to see it now because we're watching it on television, but the players on the pitch, it's far more difficult, and that's where the footballing IQ comes in. And I looked into it and I said to myself, he's right. That's exactly where the footballing IQ comes into to play because I saw on a number of occasions where players had the ball and they tried to dribble, they tried to take the extra touch and that sort of thing. And the Jamaican players they aren't that fit enough. If you watch the game and if you observe it after the 50th minute, remember, 50th minute is 10 minutes back from is 5 minutes back from the halftime whistle. And after the 50th minute, you could see that some players they bust like balloon, right? So I don't know. The fitness issues it need to be worked. It needs to be worked on. During my schoolboy days, the coach always said, if you're not the greatest footballer, at least ensure that you're the fittest. Um, it wasn't until afterwards I started looking back and I realized that this man he knew what he was saying because even if you don't have all the raw talent and the raw abilities and all of that, if you're fit enough and you know how to carry out instructions, then Tevin, keep moving the ball, you will look like you're unfit. No, no, Tevin, I agree with your point, Tevin, but also some of the Jamaican players, they were definitely unfit, and I saw that. They tried to overplay. They tried to overplay. They're trying to dribble every time they get the ball. If you realize the United States team, they were taking one touch and pass. Jamaican players were trying to dribble. Even the players who were playing in defense, in right back, left back, they were trying to dribble out. They weren't trying to pass the ball. They were trying to dribble out. So it's one of those things. Let's see. Jamaica didn't play like a team. It was all exactly. Shadi Hines. I agree with that. And I agree with that. And yeah, it comes back to the level of fitness again, because if you're trying to play individual football in a pitch that is however big it is, then you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired because you're trying to do too much. You're not passing the ball and you're not fit enough either. Powell was unfit, yes, that's why he got injured. Yeah, yeah. Powell was it was a question mark over Alvis Powell before the game. I spoke. Well, Tevin, you've seen. I've been on a few other. Where can I see the game? All right. Where can I see the game? Okay. Junior, I recorded the game, so that's why I was able to watch it back. It was on hisgoal.com. I watch it from Canada, so that's the site I watch it on, but I recorded it, so I was able to watch it back uh, and watch it again. All right. So it's not about fit. Okay. Yeah, Jamaican play. I don't know. As I said, we're not pointing fingers. We're not pointing fingers, but the individualism needs to come away from our football, because it's not something of today or just yesterday. From longer time, it's always been about individuals. Like, I don't know. I, I don't know. Like, it's always been about individuals, and modern football, modern day football is stepping away so much from individualism in football. In previous years, we had the Brazil, we had the Argentina. All these teams, they had great individuals that helped to propel them to the pinnacle. But in modern day football, it's mostly about team play. It's mostly about team play. All right. And we saw Lionel Messi just lifted the Copa, and team play did that. All right. Team play did that. We'll say he had 5 goals and 4 assists, but still the team was there. And we've always been blaming the teams that he's had around him as to why he wasn't successful on the international level. And now we've seen the team come to his aid, because it's not always about the individual. And maybe we've gone from individuals. Jamaica from 30 should have made from 30 minutes, because Turgot was tired and Fleming. I agree. And I someone messaged me and said, Kevin, I tell you something funny. Someone messaged me and said that I thought Michael Hector was the worst to play for Jamaica. But later got he he's taken over from Michael Hector. I couldn't help but laughing. But yeah, Blair Turgott was tired last night. Whenever he went down the flank, he wasn't brave enough to take on the players. Was it that he didn't trust in his ability? I don't know. Maybe it was a case where his body wasn't allowing him to put that extra burst of pace in, or maybe the US defenders were just far too much. All right. Chaddy Hines, Albus, Lawrence Fleming, and Blair show fitness issues from the first half, and it's all because of overwork. Oh, but Chaddy, explain overwork though. Explain the overwork part, because um, is it that the defenders were exposed? Is that what you mean? That they had to do too much? Um, Fleming with his tracking back and Blair Turgott with his tracking back. Is that what you're alluding to? Let me know. Let me know, because I don't want to misinterpret what you said. All right. Let's see who else we have here. Miss America. Okay. The goalkeeper was to be blamed for the rule of going for the ball in your 6 yard without being sure, but in the result like that. Okay. All right, Miss Mary. I can't even blame the goalkeeper fully, I know they don't track and cover together in pairs. Okay, okay. Yeah, fully understood now, Charlie. Fully understood. Fully understood. And I can see where you're coming from as well. I can see where you're coming from, because if if one must be from the pressing, maybe. maybe. But uh, even the substitutes, folks, Fisher make the man out jumping man. Andre Blake shouldn't come for that ball. He should have stayed on his line. I'm a keeper, so I know. I okay, Tevin, you're a keeper, so you know. So you know then that coming from the other side, coming from the other side, you because remember, you know, Andre Blake was at the near post first, and then when the ball came across, he ran across the goal. But he didn't turn his body. He tried to catch the ball at the highest point. That didn't work out. But also, we have to understand that the defender should be aware of his surroundings. And although Andre Blake should shoulder some of the blame, in my opinion, because if we look at it, you know, Andre Blake's back is turned, so he doesn't know what's behind. He's focusing on the ball, right? Fisher is behind Andre Blake, so Fisher is expected because remember, Andre Blake is backpedaling this way, or is coming to the ball, is watching the ball. Fisher is here. Fisher's back is turned to the field, you know. Fisher's back is turned to the attacker. He's literally facing the signboard behind the goal, right? So he's literally facing the signboard behind the goal. So Fisher needs to get some of the blame as well because he it's almost as if he allowed the guy a free header. Like Hop didn't have to do anything whatsoever. And I know like the comparisons in body size and all of that, it's chalk to cheese, but at least let him know you're there. Throw him off a bit. Nothing. Fisher's back was turned to goal. It's similar to the Mariappa goal, the Brian Ruiz goal that Mariappa basically gifted him in the Costa Rica game. Same positioning, ball coming in from the left, Mariappa facing that way, Brian Ruiz here, ball comes in, Ruiz jumps, boxes in the goal, and someone's playing. Mariappa is basically facing the center circle. The team needs a new philosophy, tight talks, and more. Halftime, we go to observe about how president attack about him disappointed when I him cause all of this. I'll get to that afterwards, you know. I'll get to that afterwards because the show is just warming up. Don't worry, we're just warming up. The folks have called for it, and I'm trying to deliver it now, right? So we haven't we've gone live once before, and we've decided that we're going to continue down this path, get the views of the Halftime TV supporters and the fans alike to hear what they're thinking. Mariappa should have started over Albus. It would. I agree. I agree, Jairus. I agree, Jairus, and that I predicted Mariappa to start in a back three. Right? I predicted a back three, and Theodore Whitmore started a back four. And in that back four, he had Alvas. But I don't know. I don't know because I think they were allowed. How many changes were they allowed, Jay? Was it 5 changes? I think they were allowed more than 3 changes, and I don't even think we made all our changes because McGee went on. Who else went on? McGee went on. Gray went on. Fisher went on for Alvas in the first half, and Shamar Nichols went on as well. So that's 4. The keeper biggest mistake is tracking back or backpedaling. Yeah, 5 substitutes exactly. I don't know who was Jamaica's 5th substitute, but I counted 4. So Dre, your boy got on the field. So let me know who was the 5th substitute because I don't remember the 5th one. I don't remember the 5th change that Jamaica made. I remember because up until the 90-something minute, Leon Bailey was still warming up to go on, and he didn't go on the pitch. So I don't know because the mere fact that he was still warming up, it means that the coach must have said to him that, okay, you can still get on the pitch. You get me? The 5th one. Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell. Name sounds familiar. Tevin Campbell. Don't know if it is Squidward. Let me know if it is Squidward. I think you have only four chances to make five subs. That's why US made a double sub. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, Jairus. Thanks for that bit of information. Tapa said he's pleased with the performance. His blind look second half, I could see what the US was trying to do by attacking us wide as possible. Me overwork Corey with his high press. Yeah, the US players they stretch the feet, they stretch the pitch, they stretch the pitch. The isolated players against or wing backs or right back and or left back, the isolated players against them, and sometimes they were even doubling up against them, creating overloads down the channels. And we saw in the first half, Taxi was exposed in the first half. He got away with one, and in the second half, Fisher. I can't like up until the goal. I think personally, I think Fisher was doing a good job defensively. I think going forward though, he was trying to dribble too much. But that's my opinion. I just that's the only issue I have with him prior to the goal, right? I think he was trying to dribble too much going forward. When he got the ball, he didn't want to play. He wanted to dribble to take 4, 5, 6 touches. By the time he gets to the half line mark, then players were like getting close to him. And again, as Tevin said earlier, you want to ensure that you're moving the ball, because if you're moving the ball, then the opponent is overworked. All right, so poor decision making. All right, let me see if I can go through some of these comments. I don't want these folks to think I'm forgetting about them. Fisher will not be hurt. Listen, if Burke had stayed on the line, he would have had a chance. He misjudged. Oh, if Blake. I agree. He misjudged the ball. No one's saying Andre Blake didn't misjudge the flight of the ball. We're just saying the defender, considering his vision, the goal, he could see that the goalkeeper was coming across, but he wasn't aware of what was behind him. And as a defender, you should always be aware of your surroundings, all right? Because again, and I said this before, you have to be prepared for the worst, right? In football, you have to be prepared for the worst at all times. So if you're a goalkeeper and there's a ball rolling back to your defender, be prepared for your defender to miscontrol that ball, right? That's how you look into the game. It's not being pessimistic, it's a reality of the matter. And if you're a youngster playing football, your coach will tell you that as well. Not being the World Cup qualifier, keeper biggest mistake is tracking the ball. Yes, but okay. They kept trying to do individual thing. Again, yeah, I think. Okay, Fisher tried his best besides holding on to the ball too much, but he's just not of the highest quality. No, Fisher is not as safe at all. You cannot want to dribble so often out there. I agree. And as I said, that's the issue I had with him. Like he was doing some good tracking back. He got in some good blocks as well. But whenever it was time to do that transition, see, when the goalkeeper got the ball, for example, he blocked the ball, the goalkeeper played it out to him. Instead of him receiving the ball, opening up his body, looking, open up your line of vision, get a pass to one of the midfielders, and then positioning yourself. So you're offering yourself as an option to receive the ball back, or allowing the midfielders to take the play forward. He's constantly dribbling. He's dribbling down. Like the guy is trying to hug the line to dribble all the way down, and it's not as if we're playing in a back three. It's not like we're playing a 3-4-3 or a formation like that where you expect your defenders, your wing backs to overlap. No, that wasn't the formation that we were using last night, and as such, I couldn't see through it, and I was yelling at the television screen for the most part because I couldn't understand why he was holding on to the ball. All right, so folks, if you're just jumping on, remember hit that like button. If you're new to Halftime TV, subscribe as well. I'll be doing the jersey giveaways probably next week. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting on on the jerseys from the players. I have some signed jerseys to give away. As I told you guys, as soon as I got to 1,000 subscriptions, I am at 1,000 and something subscriptions now. So we're gonna honor that promise to you, the fans, and we're gonna ensure that you win something. If I get it later on this week, if I get them later on this week, I'll do it. But generally, Ball Talk is done on a Monday. So if it's not throughout the week, it will be on Monday based on if I receive it or not. All right. So no communication at all. You can see the play most time better than the defense. So no communication at all. Keeper can see the play. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Jamaica team short of these two central defense midfielder, two left back, and two right back. So that's 6 players. Wow. Honestly, I didn't see tactics for Jamaica. All I see was them trying to score or at least hoping. True, true. No tactical plan was there. In my eyes, long pass, individual brilliance, and poor decision making. Squad picking is also an issue. Albus Powell's performance has been poor, and for me, Fisher is a no go. So that's something to consider. All right, Khalees Allen. Definitely. Bobby should have scored. I agree, Tevin. Bobby should have scored. But again, and I said this in the match takeaways, we have to understand, like when you put players, like for example, Bobby is a winger out and out, right? He plays wing back, he plays as a winger. So both those roles. When he is put in a position where he's so close to going, back turn to goal, he's expecting a million and one things because that's not his natural instinct. That's not the position that he usually finds himself in, right? And if you check the number of goals he scored for Fulham, like none of them were in that situation where his back was to goal in the 6-yard box and he had to swivel and kick a shot. Nothing like that. So again, I can't even blame Bobby too much because as I said, it's not his natural position. Right? It's almost as if you're playing a defensive midfielder as a winger. Then put it that way. So whenever that person gets the ball, that person is not going to try to dribble or anything. They're just going to pass the ball because that's what they're accustomed to. So Bobby getting the ball in that position, I could see, I could see he was trying something, but it wasn't to be. And I can't pressure him. I can't pressure him. To be honest, I can't pressure him because as soon as the game started, I was like, why is it you have two strikers on the bench in Shamar Nicholson and no excuses, but not to be blamed entirely. Yeah. No, I'm not providing excuses because if you're a top player, when you get the ball, you're supposed to put the ball in the back of the net. No excuses. But what I'm saying is, even before that chance came to Bobby, we saw that he wasn't comfortable in that role and he was far less effective in that role. So I think, and this is my opinion, had he been playing on the wing or even a little bit deeper, a little bit closer to the midfielders or whatever, he would have been far more effective, right? Play Andre Gray then and Corey Burke then, if that is the case, right? Play Andre Gray and Corey Burke then and play Bobby Reed and pull Blair Turgot then, if that is the case. Any one of that, I could live with that. So, yeah, is it true that Paul Hall is one that picked the team with Costa Rica? The team they should have us with a little tweak. Oh, I'm not sure. I won't say that. I won't say that because there have been rumors, but it's not conclusive. I don't have any facts to support those rumors, so I won't say it. All right. Big Campbell, that's a big talking point for me. The man just stopped it. So I agree. We need a new coach. Well, we've been hearing that for the longest while. We've been hearing that for the longest while. Like coach, like as I said, whenever things don't go right, the coaches generally have to shoulder the blame. It's nothing new. If you watch club football, you hardly see a footballer get fired, but you see a manager or a coach get fired almost every other week.
because whenever teams lose, they have to shoulder the blame, right? New recruitment are needed. Obviously, the squad age is like 29.64. David Walker. Welcome, David Walker. Kemar, Blake, Mariapa, Low, Liam, DJ, and Herbert must be in the World Cup team. Low, Liam, DJ. Okay, I can agree. I can see through that too. People like up the live 36. Yeah, true, true. Get the likes coming in, folks. Get the likes. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We will be doing this a whole lot more often. Bar talk, regular bar talk. So if you have your English Premier League team that you support, you can check us out on a Monday. We'll be here. We used to do it before the Gold Cup, and we will continue doing it after the Gold Cup until maybe the World Cup qualifiers again. Then we'll have some more Reggae Boyz content for you guys. Map should have played. I agree, Khalees. I agree. I think Khalees is on farm tonight. Khalees is bringing in all the heat tonight. Khalees is bringing in all the heat tonight. I agree with you, Khalees. I agree. All right, hit the like button, folks. Hit the like button. If you're just jumping on, just hit the like button. If you're new to Halftime TV, subscribe as well. Most of the folks I'm seeing on here, they're regular commenters on the halftime videos. Strong opinions, very opinionated bunch. JFF have 5 to 6 weeks to get Kyle Walker Peters, Nathan Redmond, Louis Baker, Max Aarons, Javon Anderson in the team. Those weeks will be interesting to say the least. Well, they had almost what almost 2 months to get the other guys' passports after after they expressed interest, and it still didn't work out. So I can't even bank on them. As I said, folks, Mariapa was a part of the last team to beat the United States in the Gold Cup. And Mariapa played right back in that back four, right back. So the back four had Mariapa, it had Michael Hector, it had Wes Morgan. We know Wes Morgan at Leicester City, the man himself, and it had Taxi Lawrence. That back four, right? That back four. Andre Blake was on the bench. He was a substitute goalkeeper. Andre Most being the team, he just want a partnership of that. I don't think Andre Gray got a fair chance in this tournament, and that's my opinion. Because even in the last game, I think he should have come on a bit earlier. Even with the game at 0-0, the game at 0-0 at the 60th minute. Remember, Korberg is on a card. Korberg got a card in the first half, and we know how Korberg plays. He is always on edge. He's always running. He's always pressing high. He's the type of player who plays with everything he's got. Like, I don't think there's ever a game that Korberg stepped off the pitch and his entire kit isn't soaked. That's how hard working he is. So I know that if he were to play full 90 minutes, he probably would have gotten a red card, and that has nothing to do with him being in discipline or anything, but because of the type of player he is. So he's always hustling defenders, and who knows, probably one of the defenders who would have bought something. We know how VAR is, we know how referees are, we know how home crowds are, all that thing. So I think Andre Gray should have come in a little bit earlier, and that's my opinion. Remember, folks, hit that like button, 36 of you on here. Ensure that you hit that like button. Let's get us up to those 50 likes ASAP, right? All right, let's see. Andre, you must. Okay, I agree. Antonio pissed me off. Jamaica wanted him to represent them, and he waited until he is old and his bones are like biscuit. The coach is really failing to build a team around Bailey, not to mention Gray doesn't seem to be fitting in. I don't know, maybe they aren't giving him a fair chance. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but that's how it's looking from where I'm sitting. And I'm sitting in an office in Toronto. Back four of Maps, though, more than Taxi would have been like and iron wall too bad type of intent pushing Fisher. Ross, I fully agree. I fully agree. I think, remember, Mariappa has played what, over 500 professional games, right? And those games have been split between him playing right back and him playing center half. So I don't see anything wrong with Mariappa coming in at right back, Damian Lowe, Liam Moore, and Taxi Lawrence there. Who knows? Probably in occasions, Damian Lowe could even step in midfield as well to help push the team forward, or to help get them a little bit higher up the pitch, and then allow DJ to go a little bit forward as well. So I know if Theodore Whitmore had started that back four, they wouldn't have to worry about the midfielders being exposed. And last night, a 19-year-old exposed the midfielders. Can you believe it, folks? 19-year-old. I know 19-year-olds aren't made the same as they used to make them back in my days, but 19-year-old. Andre Giri was frustrated most times from not getting the ball passed to him, which I feel led him to missing. Maybe David, maybe. Football is as much psychological as it is physical, and we think once they go out there and they get the ball, they're supposed to score. But like, there are 1 million other things happening on the field of play. So sometimes when the players get the ball, they just don't want to mess up. The obsession with players like Fisher will cost us. I really hope we get it together. Game management is also an issue. We could even have included Hector and swap him with Damian Lowe position wise. Sorry. Yep. Agreed. Fully agreed. And again, as I said, Fisher didn't have an awful game. I think leading up to that goal, the only issue I had with him was that he was holding on to the ball too much, right? And as a defender, you don't want to be holding on to the ball too much, right? Because it's a last line of defense. You're playing. You have the midfielders who they defend the defenders, then put it that way, and then the defenders defend the goalkeeper. So I don't know, and it's one of those things. So it's just one of those things. But it's Tapper's time up though, folks. I haven't even received any calls as yet, folks. Remember, you can jump on. Let me know what you think. Let me drop back the link. Let me drop back the link so you guys can join me. I think I've been here talking by myself for too long. So there's a link if you want to hop on. Fisher is not the right back. This is the reason why he played like that. All right, that's a link, folks. If you want to hop on, share your views. Let me know. Is the time up? Is it? Where do we go from here? Where do the Reggae Boyz go from here? How do we fix the issues? And the issues are insurmountable. I don't think Tapper is a man I can't see no style of play. Udell Francis. Tennessee, I can't understand why the coach takes so long to make the subs. As I said in Tennessee, and I mentioned it, I said there are two types of coaches. There are the proactive ones who will come out and they'll impose their ideas on you. So whenever they go out on the field, you know that, okay, Jurgen Klopp's team is playing, or Pep is playing. Because regardless of the 11 that you're sending out, this manager is going to send out his team to play how he wants them to play. Marcelo Bielsa is the same as well. He has his way of playing, and if his team has 10 average players, they're going to play their way. So your 10 or your 11 world-class players, they need to be on their A game because he trusts in his way of playing and he stands by it 100%. Theodore Whitmore is more of a reactive manager. So he assesses the opponent, he realizes that, okay, this is how they play. So instead of playing a formation or going out there to attack how they play, he's going out there to defend how that team played. So it's basically countering how they play rather than allowing them to do that. And the United States manager, he wasn't messing around. He wasn't messing around. You see how early the guy made his changes? The guy realized that changes needed to be made, and he made his changes ASAP. Right? Not joking around. And that's why his win percentage is 72%. Guy not joking around, man. Going out there to win him thing. I just stream. Good night, Tevin.
Yeah, man, what going on?
Good. Put a face to the comments now.
Yeah, man, I hear me good?
Yeah, man, may I hear?
Come on, all I hear you.
All right, hold on. Give me a second. All right. All right, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now? Need to shake up JFF. All right, I can hear you now, Tevin.
Yeah, man, I hear you now. Are the internet that give little problems still?
Yeah, no, it was my earphone, so it was off. So that's the issue. All right, so how are you doing tonight, Tevin? I see you're an avid commenter, an avid JFF, and well, not JFF, Reggae Boyz fan. But how you?
Good man. Good man, just feel like happy for the team still. I'm not bash them still. They feel them hard. I'm still going to fight this time. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, them fight. I'm not tell you that. Still going to fight in them. Then all of them need, right now, we can't look for the fire topper at the moment. It don't make no sense. All we have to do is just regroup and get a couple of addition to the team. That's all them need. The Jamal low and them player there. Them need goal scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need technical goal scorer like a Kemaru. Antonio, that clinical. He must score if a game said 2 or 3, he must score. You get what I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the Kemaru for now, once a game and he have your eye on the goal, he must score. Them player that we need. We don't need we don't need player like Shamanika, so we're gonna fight. Free kick on them something. Them the thing that I needed in our team. And them stuff there. Them thing them I don't like see them thing there. You have to have good sportsmanship. I don't like them thing there.
Yeah. So how would you rate the Reggae Boyz performance though at the Gold Cup? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you say? Like put everything. The game against Suriname, the game against Guadeloupe, Costa Rica, and USA. Just average it out. How would you say?
Well, I grade them out of 10, but I would say 6.5, 6.5. So that's a yeah. Then put in for
all right, folks, in the comment section, let me know how you'd grade the team's performance at the Gold Cup. I know I don't do player rankings because I think as fans and as analysts or pundits or whatever you want to call it, we tend to be the best footballers, and not being on the field, it's easier to criticize or to judge performances. So that's why I don't do the player ratings. But I think we can offer some just criticism on the team as an entity throughout the tournament so far. So folks in the comment section, let me know how would you rank the Reggae Boyz performance at the Gold Cup on a scale of 1 to 10. We need not just 7 out of 10. Jamaica get a 5. T-Doog say Jamaica get a 5. So I get 1 7. I got 2 5 so far.
let's see, we have a firewall keeper. All right, who else do we have on here? Tight Talks.
Defend still me nah go bash them. No
Yeah,
about nobody. Me nah bash them, cause me is a sportsman. Me keep it up. So me
yeah,
understand football. So when a team of pressure you and hold the ball for you,
yeah,
once you don't have the ball, I can tell you, you got tired. You look like say your hand fit out there. Because you have to keep on trying to get the ball. It's like you run up and down to get the ball. Now.
yeah,
That's why when you get the ball now, you have to keep it at your feet. You
yeah, yeah.
understand? That's why they
I
need somebody like Ravi now. They need somebody like a Kevin Stewart. You understand? You can
yeah,
have Bobby, because you don't know so Bobby understand the game.
yeah.
But different is still them play Bobby without a position. Them play
Yeah,
Bobby with a position. You know?
I agree.
Understand?
That's why I
Yeah.
can't even
Bobby should have played for one of the flank.
that's why I can't even blame Bobby Reed. I can't criticize him or anything because he was a fish out of water. All right, who is that we have? Tight Talks. Welcome, boss.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well, could be better, but okay at the moment.
All right, no worries. What are your thoughts on the Reggae Boys' performance throughout the Gold Cup tournament, and where do we go from here?
I would say that a lot of improvement needs to be made. Uh, the games that they did win, they could have won better. For the few games that they had won, there were chances that they were, instead of working together, they kept trying to score from some weird angles, things like that. So they need to work more as a team. They need to have a better philosophy, like I said, because it's not consistent. It's like they sometimes they go there and it's like they just supposed to just do individual brilliance instead of working together. So things like that needs to be improved because that's the main factor where they lost against Costa Rica. They were creating their chances, they were unlucky with the shots that they took, but they just couldn't find the back of the net. And then the same thing happened with USA. And the major thing that with that game against USA is the fact that the USA team kept giving away the ball, and instead of prosing on that and trying to punish them, we either kept passing the ball sideways or doing things like that instead of trying to be ruthless. And that type of mentality needs to be instilled into the team as well. They need to be more ruthless.
So do you think Theodore Whitmore is the man to instill that sort of mentality in this batch of players?
I wouldn't say no, but it would have to start from now because it's not going to be, it can't be done overnight. So they have to start from now because it's not going to be easy, but they need to, and they do need recruitments because they need more players. The team is a bit older now, so they need a bit of I wouldn't say too young, but at least of a younger age to help in it because the younger type of footballers are the ones that actually have that ruthless mentality. So getting players like that would be a positive thing to do. But I wouldn't say that he isn't the man for the job. I think he just needs to regroup, like someone was saying, and then try to come again and try to work harder towards the next competition that's coming up.
Okay, all right. Fully understood. Whether that will be the case going forward, we're yet to see, and we hope for the best because I never like to see anyone losing their jobs. But again, if it is for the greater good, it has to be that way. Formula, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Formula, I don't know which
Man,
one you're.
huh?
The cameras are off. I can't see either.
Yeah, man, I'm the one with the logo on it, man.
Yeah, okay. All right. Folks, if I haven't done so, check out Formula Sports, the man himself. Man himself. I think Formula, I saw you did a few videos today on Theodore Whitmore. I'll jump straight into that. What's next? What do you think? What is your opinion? where do we go from here?
I mean, from a coaching perspective.
Yeah, from a coaching perspective.
Well, I did a video earlier today weighing the pros and the cons of getting rid of Theodore Tapawitmo. I don't know if that's the video that you're referring to.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, I honestly think that the cons of getting rid of Tapa right now outweigh the pros. And so I personally think we should keep him around until the World Cup qualifies. To be honest with you.
So essentially you're saying we should sacrifice another 4 years then. Because
What 4 years you talk about?
Let me turn on my camera for this one. Oh, good.
But we saw what no formula on a serious note though. And for the folks in the comment section, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm gonna get back to you in a few minutes, but I need to tackle this one head on before it goes any further. So formula, what you're saying then is, based on the back of what we saw in the Gold Cup, because all right, before I even go any further, how do you rank the Reggae Boyz performance at the Gold Cup formula?
To be honest with you, I would give it a 5 out of 10.
5, okay. So
Yeah.
do you think a 5 out of 10 performance can take us to the Gold Cup, to the World Cup?
Is it all on the coach though?
No, it's not all on the coach. I mentioned that earlier. I said when the team loses, the coaches generally shoulder the blame. When the team wins, we laud the top players, and we've gotten used to it because football is a result-driven industry. So that's why we see managers. We see managers. They come and go. I'm a Chelsea fan. I've seen probably more managers than I don't know.
Right,
I've seen more. Go ahead.
Let me chip in for a second. You think that could have been the USA manager that top of what, third World Cup this? In third one, right?
Yeah.
And him still not bring sport nothing, you can say. If it was the USA or one of them top team, then I can't cock anything, they would have get rid of them long time. We have to stop the small-minded and think about the bigger picture. We have to talk about the World Cup qualifying coming up. The style of play we have, now go get with nowhere. Nowhere. I don't want him lose his job, but him need to find a better style of play where them play they from England and who them professional play there. Understand? The style of play we have now is some local based player. Because they know in Jamaica we have some bad fields where we just boot the long ball over the top and run and pray they will score. And pray say nobody else can score one way. And that the man do last night. Just Low was like every time the ball come to him, boom, long kick. And him have 1, 2, 3, 4 pass. Right in front of him. And him just kick the ball, get the opposition. That not gonna work. And when the World Cup qualifier come, I see him story and we're gonna keep on be disappointed until 2090. They're not gonna make it better.
My boss. My thing is that, right? You don't think that firing Tapa, because Tapa was far from impressive in the game against the United States. Let's be real.
Not just the United States.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the formula. In which one of the games? Remember, we played 4 games. Which of the games would you say Tapa was impressive in?
Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. But there are a number of varying factors that will affect, the how the team looks on the pitch. Right? To be honest with you, if you're looking at it from the team standpoint in terms of how the team look.
After me, I got to work. Me have time there. Because I not put you up nothing. More I leave. Me have got to work.
All right, Ryan LFC folks.
Good night.
Let him choke.
Good night, viewers. Just a second.
To the gate, you. Go on, my boss.
Virgin, if we want good for the football, the vlogger, now is the time.
Get
no other time they did it.
We get rid of Tapa.
Una happy with the performance?
On the eve of the World Cup qualifying, Ryan, we are gonna get rid of Tapa right now. Ryan, tell me that 3, 4, 5 months ago, Ryan.
I would have get rid of them from last
Yeah,
night.
but Ryan,
Hold on, brother.
Well, hold on, folks.
No World Cup, brother. I'm telling that from now, brother.
Fox.
No World Cup, we now go.
Fox.
We
We
need
are going to cry. Everybody are going to ball.
We turn up. You, me a leader, you know. Me no wait, you know. We need to get rid of the man. The man is
Tapa
not
play like a schoolboy football, brother.
A 7 years
Schoolboy football.
The man they run the national team from 2007, brother. What has changed? The man get the most chance. Tapa, we love you, you're the legend. We appreciate everything he has done. But the
You're
team
not gonna make it.
the team bigger than you know, brother. If you love Jamaican football, just walk, brother. Just walk.
But you hear that? You hear that, folks, in the comment section?
Ryan, me not disagree with all of that, you know. See, but what me say is right now, if you fire Theodore Tapa with more Ryan.
It's the best time now.
No, me not agree with that. Me not agree. That's the problem.
Yeah, we have to lose.
Yeah, but Ryan, if we fire him now, we might end up making it worse for we in September.
No, Virgin. New manager, new tactics. Virgin, new manager.
First of all, Ryan, hold
on, folks. Hey, remember, we have to keep it orderly. Remember to keep it orderly. I know,
folks, go on, family. I have the mic. Go on.
Folks, Ryan is very, very passionate about this topic. He did a video this morning. I think he did 2 videos today, Ryan, or 3. He did a few videos today on the topic, and if you haven't done so, please check it out. Like, fascinating stuff. He doesn't mince his words. No tongue in cheek business. I can guarantee you 100% passion.
Too much people are crying now, man. Too much people are crying. Too much tears. Last night after 10, me sit down, me left work, me not even bathe, and sit down and watch a match whole night. And at the end of the day, what? Lose to one United. That decided about the Z, because enough of them man they not even go play in a World Cup qualifier. 3/4 of them. And who decide missing? Ravel, Morrison, and few other little man. And we can't beat that. Decide, come on, man. Coach need to go, like yesterday.
No, man, we're missing a couple players, man. We're missing a couple.
Few.
We're missing about 9, 10 quality players.
No, we are going to dip it when I'm count the England-based player. After them, the performance. Okay, let me finish, please, Mr.
All right, no worries.
After them performance the last night, you feel like most of them players there from England I got really want to run come play for Jamaica again?
No, but I'm talking about those who have already committed to the program.
Yeah, them commit themselves. People can just call out and say them not coming in. Remember. Enough people now go put them career like Mikel Antonio. No. Him career at risk to come play for Reggae Boyz where I got just fade away in a World Cup qualifier. Because I see it coming already, you know. Them performance, look on Guatemala. Our schoolboy team of Jamaica supposed to beat Guatemala. And we struggle to beat Guatemala.
Guadeloupe.
Well, you all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
We need
the folks in the comments.
We need some more consistent performance, some good performance. Them Suriname and them team, they have more possession than Jamaica. We're supposed to have ball. We have ball. Yeah, we did. I think 2-1.
Yeah, in terms of from a scoreline perspective, but in terms of the performance,
no, we weren't.
Yes, we were.
I said no.
In what game?
What's your opinion?
In what
two different match may I watch then?
We created like a million chances against Guadeloupe. If Shamar
we
Nicholson,
created like a million chances against Costa Rica that we lost.
And we created a lot of chances against Guadeloupe as well that Shamar Nicholson wasted quite a number of them.
Well, the B team when Mr. Jamaica put out play better than the starting 11. The team when Mr. them put out against Costa Rica play way better. And it look like Whitmore just send them out and say, go and go do anything.
No, one question before me leave, guys.
Yeah.
When we as blogger come and say the team outgoed certain player, why we want them to leave? Because they're not good enough to represent for the national team anymore. The team outgrow them.
Fuck.
So why when the team outgrow the legend, why him can't leave? Watch him score.
Ryan, no, we agree with you. Well, I personally agree with you. I would want a better coach. There's no doubt about it. My issue is the timing, Ryan.
The time is what kind of time you hold on, pan?
Ryan, remember, Ryan, remember, Theodore Tapper Whitmore is close to a lot of the players, a lot of the players.
I don't care about that, and that's how we not get.
But you can't make rash decisions, Ryan, and that's the problem.
Too much friend thing.
Ryan, you can't make rash decisions, Ryan.
Brother, you know one of the biggest thing in our coach? Yeah, brother, you go in more depth, because tomorrow we are going more depth. Because we have a national team and we take things from player. Me are going in depth. Me not come on nobody platform and talk, because I don't want nobody get in trouble, Me are going to talk on my channel. Listen, you what?
Hear that, folks? Ryan LFC. Turn the notification on, like, share.
Because it's not right, brother. We're not going to run a couple with more, brother. What kind of second chance? What kind of chance? The man did it from 2007. He get the most time as a national coach. Too much friend thing go close. Later, because I don't want to get in trouble,
Blessings, Ryan. We talk. Blessings, Ryan. Ryan LFC, folks. You hear that? As far as passion goes, it doesn't come anything close to that, right? And for more content, if you want to hear what Ryan has to say, turn the notification on, right? Him tell us him now means some words, I go over there, I come with details tomorrow. So stay tuned for that video on Ryan LFC's channel. All right. Who else do we have on here? Formula. Yeah, continue Formula, because right now, personally, I think I said this before and I'll say it again. I'm a Chelsea fan. So when you talk about changing managers and timing and all of that, I think managers can come in with short windows.
Yeah.
Based on the expectations that are handed to them. So when you come in and you know what is expected of you, you know what you need to do, and the time frame you have to do what you need to do, then your meds different going into the job. And we saw Frank Lampard at the beginning of the season said Chelsea wasn't ready to compete. Yeah. We saw Tuchel took over in January, and in May Chelsea were lifting the Champions League trophy. So again, there are two questions to be asked. You mentioned the finances of the federation. So do we not have anyone else in Jamaica that's better than Whitmore? Is that?
I mean, look, halftime we can change the manager, right? Yeah. In the short window, and it works,
Yeah, well, it's a short window we need now. Because a 6 month, the World Cup qualifiers will run from September to March, roughly, and then if we don't qualify, it'll go down into June, right? Because the World Cup is next year, December, because it's a winter World Cup we have next year.
Yeah, which is weird. I'd love to see that. I've never seen that before, but it can work, boss. It can work, but it can also backfire. And that is the problem. There's no guarantee that we will have success if we set up and change the manager right now. It could backfire.
But what we are more sure of is that if we keep the manager, we aren't going to the World Cup, because he's had two tries at it. He's had three tries at the Gold Cup. And on all 5 occasions, he's failed. So what we are assured of with this manager is failure.
I disagree.
Then if you're not sure that a new manager is going to come in and do
by the way, boss, Ryan all in the comments, man.
Yes, Ryan feel in the comments too.
Oh, because, God, man.
Because my logic is, right? My logic is, right? Let me put it to you then. Formula, and then you tell me if I'm making sense, right? If you and I are on a football team and you're the penalty taker, and we get one penalty and you kick and you miss. And we get two and you kick and you miss. And we get 3 and 4 and 5, and on all 5 occasions you miss. Right? Would you trust yourself then, or do you think it is fair to trust you to take the 6th penalty in comparison to taking someone else who you haven't seen kick a penalty as yet, and have that person get a try at it?
Here's the thing with that analogy, my boss. Taking a penalty is a far more simple task, right? With far less variables
I'm putting it as no. It's not a matter of taking the penalty, you know. The act of taking the penalty isn't the actual analogy, you know. It's the act of constantly trying something and failing, like going there and failing it. Would you trust that person to constantly be going back and put all your laurels on him again to do it again, in comparison to getting someone else to do it?
Yeah, look, failure is relative, and I say that because in the grand scheme of things, is Tapa really a failure? In the general picture, is he really a failure? This is a man that took us to a Gold Cup final that we had no business going to because of the squad of players that we fielded in that particular tournament.
Let me play devil's. Hold on. Let me play devil's advocate before you continue. This is also a man who got us out of the tournament in a Gold Cup tournament where we had all business winning.
In this tournament, you think so?
Yeah.
With the poor preparation coming into the tournament?
Poor the players on our roster formula, if we're to be honest with ourselves, if we go through the players in the Reggae Boyz roster, regardless of the preparation that they're mentioning or whatever, these youngsters in the US team, they don't have enough preparation either. Because Lucio, the youngster playing in number 6, he made his debut on the 6th of July. And that was what, a week before the tournament or 2 weeks before the tournament started.
Hasn't most of them played for the United States prior to the tournament?
No, not most of them. Not most of them. A number of them were getting their first cap this year. So
before the tournament.
Yeah, this year.
But before the tournament, because from my understanding of it, Berhalter had an MLS team in training and also playing games coming into the Gold Cup. That's my understanding of it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. The guys, they still did not have caps with the national team because the outing, remember, the last game that Jamaica played against the United States. The game that they beat us, right? They beat us, and I think we beat them in May or something like that. I don't even remember. I think we beat them once, maybe a 1-0 or something. Anyway,
we've beaten them about 3 times. The last time was
we beat them since year, no? Or last year?
No, man, it wasn't this year. No, man, it was the year before last, I think. I think it's the year before last.
But the beating that they gave us this year, none of the, I think maybe 4 or 5 of these players were a part of that squad, right?
True.
That we played, and the team that they took to the Nations League final, only 4 of them were a part of this squad. So when you talk about preparation and all that, this team, the US national, the outings that the US national team is having, it's a bunch of different players all the time because the coach is focused on depth. So as a result, he's getting a bunch of different faces coming in, so he can see his options and he can weigh out the persons he wants in the squad going forward.
From my understanding of it, Berhalter had an MLS team that played a couple games coming into the tournament. As I said, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
That
will those extra games, coming into the tournament, right, would have ensured that they were a lot more advanced in their prep than us. Added to the fact that, we have a midfield problem as well, and we can't ignore that as well,
All right. Hold it on.
One second.
Let me hear what they call up to say.
That midfield that we saw last night, wasn't that midfield good enough to beat the USA?
If it was good enough to beat the USA, on paper, probably, but
Daniel Johnson playing part out. Speedy
but
Williams,
Daniel
best me ever seen for a long while. Regardless,
True,
and
true,
two
true.
little mistake them we make.
Folks,
But we are
remember to hit
bypass.
the like button, all right? Hit
Yeah,
the like button, please.
we fly past the midfield. We never had play with the midfield. We
Yeah,
never
but
play with the
boss,
midfield last time.
for one, Daniel Johnson is a number 10. He's an attacking midfielder, and I don't
Yes.
think a lot of people realize that.
Yes.
Right? I mean, yes, him can play in other positions, but naturally, he's naturally a number 10. That's the first thing. Second of all, boss, Bobby Reed did not play nothing last night.
Because
Again,
wow,
the coach has
Bobby
everyone
Reed
out of position.
Bobby-
The coach has everyone out
Bobby
of
Reed
Yeah,
position.
but
to them
no, but
success.
because of the thinness in the midfield in a halftime, he
Yeah.
has been forced.
We were
because of the
bypassing the
thinness.
midfield. We
Yes.
were bypassing the
Yeah, but
midfield.
even when we try to go through the midfield, boss, the midfield never have no fluidity last night.
5 or 10 times out of one entire game.
5 or 10 times, what do you mean? In
Them
terms of
try
the...
go through the midfield.
No, boss, no, boss.
90% long ball.
No, I'm not agree.
Too
with
low?
that. No,
Low,
boss.
long ball. So when they maroon or moon, long ball. Steve does the same thing over and
But
over.
boss, I
was
think you're
we just
greatly
sit down there
exaggerating.
watch the game and no, I'm not exaggerate.
In my opinion.
90% we chance them we create last night was because of the long ball. We need to
100%.
find another strategy. Because most teams are find way out and say Jamaica just play long ball over the top.
Yeah.
And them cut out that. And when them cut out that, with Whitmore and know what else to do now. Him just stand up on the sideline with the man for him. I rub him beard like him and say, what more me to do? Him need to find another way. Because that now go help when if we go in a World Cup qualifier same, we now go past the first round, believe me. Even Suriname, me look on me, I say, Jesus, even the Suriname coach would have better than Whitmore because them have a style of play. Them just not have the proper team where you can say the players them. But them have a style of play. Everybody who will play have a style of play. Look on Costa Rica. A P. Allman and the whole of them have a style of play. Just one way them a play, right, Joe? Come on, man. We need a style of play,
Yeah,
man.
but boss,
Can I say
so wait,
something?
you are a style of play advocate. You have issues with pragmatism.
Yeah, we just say that. Yeah, what Jamaican football is offering, it not go work. And we're gonna keep every 4 years. Yeah, Whitmore is like a schoolboy coach. He is like a schoolboy coach. Schoolboy football level we are playing.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Over
man,
the
go
top?
through Kuan. Go through Kuan.
Add.
Yeah, I'm here for a while now. What I want to say is that everyone gonna say Whitmore cannot replace. You remember what happened when Brazil was in the midst of not qualify for the World Cup in 2018?
Well done. Did somebody will check the history?
Did you know what Brazil Federation did when Brazil was in that situation?
Even Spain fired them coach after the World Cup.
They replaced Dunga with Tite. And when Tite took over, he didn't lose a game until the quarterfinal in the World Cup against Belgium. So coach have a lot to do with things. So don't tell me that Whitmore cannot replace because you see to international football club where coach replace when the team is not performing.
Simple.
Yeah,
Italy are the same thing.
Yeah, but
we have amplified. Something is echoing. I don't know.
Juan, but to be fair, you can give examples of success in a short term and examples of a coach having a small window and gaining or garnering success rather. But there are a lot of examples as well of coaches that have been given a small window and it backfired.
All right, look. How can you leading up to a tournament where you want to win the competition, not to compete but to win, and you haven't and they haven't choose two defensive midfield and a good box-to-box midfielder?
No,
how can you dominate and win competition without football? Look at the midfield. Jamaica has the poorest midfield
in the
But that's not Tapper's
competition.
fault. Kuan, remember, you know,
So
the
who in charge to
yeah, but
select the player?
Kuan, remember, you know, the two see them with more they plan for bring out the tournament, you know, in Cousins and Stewart. Remember, man, them they get them documents in time.
All right.
Stuart,
Reval,
yes,
all right.
Stuart, yeah.
Look. Since they didn't get their document in time. When Reval didn't get his visa, why they haven't called up a CDM to replace him?
You can't replace the player because CONCACAF rules don't allow for you to replace a player out of the squad unless he's injured. So East was injured and hence they could replace him. That's why I blame the JFF. The JFF should never have brought Ravel Morrison to the Gold Cup in the first place.
Yes, but why when they know that he has an issue with the United, he cannot travel there. So why try to include him when you have so much other player?
But that's not.
You have a youngster. You have Peter Lee Vassell. He hasn't had a bad game playing for Jamaica. And if I'm wrong, just tell me the game he played bad, where I can go and rewatch it. He played against Ecuador. He did well in 2018 as a 20-year-old. He played against
2018. I think he was like 19, 2018.
No, 2018 they play against Ecuador.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay.
Yes, and he did well. He didn't it's the only youngster I see coming out of the schoolboy football and make an immediate impact with the national team. So why
on the world stage
they didn't? Why they didn't bring him in the national setup this time around when he have so much vision and pass?
He was
no
there,
one right now in the national team cannot pass the ball better than Vassell. No one.
Oh, Vassell,
no DJ.
Yeah, Vassell.
PD, none of them.
No, but Peter
right
Lee
now.
Vassell, no, Juan. Peter Lee
Tell me which
Vassell
one can pass on the ball. He play 17 games and have 11 goals contribution.
Remember in a Koan. Tariq, not Tariq Maggie.
Tariq Maggie.
No man, a Vassell Mata, man. Vassell Mata.
Vassell was without a club before the tournament. So
look how many persons.
Hold on.
Ravel Morrison was without a club before the tournament.
Compare Ravel and
No. Ravel Morrison hasn't done anything in the national setup for me to select him out. What has he done for Jamaica?
Hold on.
What Ravel has done for Jamaica?
Ravel a maestro, man.
Ravel is a maestro, boss. Ravel is a player. No, but
Peter Lee plays 17 games for Jamaica and has 11 goals contribution. Who else right now, apart from Shamar Nicholson, has a better record? Who else? Tell me, not even Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey play a lot against these mediocre Caribbean team and cannot score. So tell me if Leon Bailey has a better stat. And he play against Anvil and he will have Aruba and he cannot score.
Leon Bailey not wake up yet, man. He's soon wake.
Go on. We're not
no, you need to deal with justice. Everyone gonna blame Tapper and JFF, but we as the media have a issue as causing the problem because we know always reaching out for player and calling out for player who is not worthy to be in there.
Folks, remember to light the live. Folks, remember to light the live. Light the live, folks. Kwan in his element, folks. Remember to light the live. You can only get it here at Halftime TV.
Well, only thing would have to add in a Kwan. Well, Maggie should have gone a little earlier still.
Of course.
Him play well against Costa Rica.
Maggie problem. Maggie weak. And if he even did start, he couldn't make an impact. Because
we see USA
Jamaica
physical.
doesn't have an identity. They just go on the field and when you're playing some Sunday evening football and you just all over the field and playing without awareness because you just
I'm not going to say like I'm not going to say that a lie.
I don't think
to play a tiki-taka ball game, you have to be confident, If you don't confident on the ball, you cannot pass the ball. Because sometimes one player,
as a football player, you should not allow one player to win your football.
Not so easy.
One player. And I see where person receive the ball and one person coming and then he has to kick it. They're kicking away the football. And it's just one person attack them.
Yeah. Fuck.
Which others where in the world you see such thing?
What you mean in terms of Burke pressing?
No,
No, I'm not talking about Burke. I'm talking about the whole Jamaican players.
The man them press.
When
If
they
even
had,
one man a press, does a kick the ball all over the place.
Then that man say, Burke alone did that press.
No, he means from the opposite end. He means from the opposite end.
Opposition.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking about the opposition.
Like
yes, so they're kicking away the ball.
Then one pull the ball and beat a man. Parade, pull the ball and beat a one man.
One man, you cannot kick away the ball. You just make one man coming on you. The system need to change without a system or identity.
We're not gonna make it.
If Roof come, Michael and Tony, Lewis Baker, the same problem because you don't have a system to fit them in. You know why the Mexican team can look so dangerous?
Yeah, but I think of some school boy in Mexico.
Tiki-taka football game, they have a system.
No, but they have the players to implement that system as well.
No, they have coach but without coach,
you can't play that kind of football and do have the requisite players to be able to play that type of football.
Hold on, let me add to that. So what you said, them players that we are import from England and all over the world, them not good enough to play them type of system ball game.
Yeah, but boss,
some of them good enough. Some of them good enough.
All right, listen. You see, who the players them will come.
Yeah.
No, we not talk about who wasn't there. You see, who them have now.
Yeah.
And who missed play last night, them can play a way better system than we miss with more of them a play.
Yes, some of them because of Bobby Reed.
All right, more for talk that. More for address that. Because we talk about the midfield last night, right? On I say on paper the midfield, should have been able to put the ball on the ground and move it through the respective thirds of the pitch, right? Cool. And I realize two things.
All right, hold on, Formula. Before you say anything, Javar, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's hear what Javar has to say. He's been here for quite some time.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Javar. Your camera is turned off, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
All right. Everybody blamed Tapa last night. Blame all the players out there. From the goalkeeper right to the striker. We beat ourselves last night. Taking the chances last night, we could have win by at least 4-1. So everybody blaming Tapa, everybody calling out for a new coach. Jamaica can't afford a new coach. That are the first thing. Them can pay the players them much as pay a new coach right now. Which other coaches here get them money they Tapa get? I don't know Tapa's salary. Fan, but
I do.
I'm sure no other coach in CONCACAF or in the Caribbean getting that money. Jamaica can't afford a coach.
Trinidad's coach gets 3 times Tapa's amount.
Ryan and everybody when they blame Tapa. Tapa is not the person to blame last night. Yes, he have a system. I agree. Him get Paul Hall, which is a bigger coach for help him. We have a good crop of players. Last night we beat ourselves. Taking the charges, especially Fleming. Fleming was the first one to come off the field last night, Because he get a good opportunity to pass the ball and him still has try score by himself.
He's too selfish. He's very selfish.
Exactly.
Yeah, but to be fair to Fleming, yes, I agree that there were situations that he should have been more, or less selfish rather. But to be fair to him, a lot of the times, he found himself in isolated positions, If we're gonna be real, a lot of the times he was isolated.
He got
I think
good
Flemo got 2 clear opportunities.
I agree, but I'm talking about his general performance.
Yeah. But again, I think, and this has been something that we've seen throughout the tournament, like when he came onto the pitch, it's not something that we're just pulling from this particular game. It's something that has basically manifested itself throughout the tournament. So
he's getting ahead of himself, you know.
True.
So
a little bit ahead of himself.
I was just speaking specifically about, generally speaking, last night's performance. Yes, he did have some moments where he should have been.
We are
less.
first.
All right, Kwan, give me a second. Let me hear what's his name, Ty Talks has to say. Ty, are you still there?
Yeah, man. I just hearing some debate and everything, man. I just taking it in, listening to all this intense conversation.
We'll get back to Kwan in a second. But do you have anything to say? Any rebuttal to what Javar just said?
Yeah, in some sense, yes. And also with a lot of what most people were saying as well. With the philosophy, obviously, I said this. The philosophy needs to be changed. Clearly the system needs to change because I don't know who said it, but it's just one dimensional, and I think someone said 90% of the time was just long passes, and it's just the same thing over and over again. You need to mix it up a bit. You can't be doing it because eventually it's going to become predictable, and then it's going to cause the team to be better prepared. And I don't know. It's just really complicated because they should be able to win the game because the major factor is the team they're playing against is a youthful team. And most of the players that were playing for Jamaica are experienced players. They're older players, so in a sense they're supposed to be able to do it. And I don't fully agree with blaming the coach himself. Clearly, a part of it is his fault, but at the same time, a coach can do everything. He can instruct the player to do this. He can have his tactical plan, but if the players are not able to put the ball in the back of the net, he can't do anything else because he's not the one playing. It's down to the players, and if the players don't put the ball in the back of the net, then no goal is not going to be scored or they can't win the game.
All right. Question Ty Talks. Ricky Dong Walker says Jamaica team bigger than Theodore Whitmore. What says you?
Well, he's clearly been there for a very long time. He's seen some other players being able to come into the team and things like that. I wouldn't fully say that it is. Clearly have a lot of top names there and everything.
Bigger than it.
In some sense, yes, but I wouldn't say it's fully bigger than him.
I think you're on the fence, Ty. You're staying on the fence.
Let me add something. Mikel Antonio and all of them, man, they have to come from England now. When him see all of them big names, they come in when him only a sip on him TV. What am I going to tell them the man say? What him can do to motivate them the man there? What can he do?
To be fair, would if the program, you think those players would come if the program didn't look attractive enough to attract them? And Whitmore is part of the reason why we're ranking rise. He's part of the reason.
It's getting unattractive with last night's performance.
I agree.
Competition, yeah? And this competition where them going on, them just go embarrass themselves. I'm going to talk it straight. The competition was there to be won. I won the easiest Gold Cup ever.
Yeah, but
Mexico, they on them lowest point. Canada down there also. US sent out one Z team. Jamaica was just there to be taken.
I don't think it's as clear cut as you say it is.
I have a
you know, the two Gold Cups that we went to before, the final and most the semi-final was way harder than this one. Yes. Way harder.
In terms of the level of opposition?
Yes. This was the easiest Gold Cup we've ever been to fit the past 10 years. Because most teams not send out them A players. Because of the whole COVID and all of that.
But we not send out our A team either, boss.
That was 90% of the A team.
No. There was no Casey Palmer. no Ravel Morrison, no Antonio, no Roof.
But
no
Antonio
Hold on, let me
has
ask you
never
that.
played for Jamaica yet. Antonio has never played for
Yeah, but Antonio has already committed to the program.
Yeah, but he's never
It doesn't matter. He has committed to the program. It does not matter. He has committed to the program.
Let me say this then,
You cannot count them man that we not play yet.
Based on your analogy, but based on your analogy, Andre Gray would be in the A team then for Jamaica, and he was not in the A team because coming in the Gold Cup, Andre Gray is the biggest striker Jamaica had going into the Gold Cup, and that's not debatable, right? If you have an opinion, keep it to yourself because that's not debatable. He's the only Premier League striker we had at the Gold Cup, and he could barely get a sniff, right?
At the starting 11.
Right.
Yeah, but to be fair, I was one of the protagonists that Burke should have started. I think Burke should have been the main starter in the tournament.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, again, if we're talking about A teams, you can't say a player, okay, he's in the A team and he's never put on the kit before. With the Ravel Morrison, I can see through it. I can see through everything else. But as you said, he's never put on the kit before. He's never stepped on the pitch before.
I see things a little different.
Right, the striker name was injured again. The striker that was injured.
Javan East.
Javan East. You know, Javan East are one of the best striker Jamaica.
What?
Yeah, you would have said that. Would have said that, don't you?
Bro,
so you hear what you just said? You hear what me just said, you hear what you just said? So how you go count a man when you play then? You can't count a man when you play it.
I don't understand the analogy.
I have a point.
Javan East would have started if he was not injured. Me not ask you.
No, he would not have started. He would not have started.
Okay, who has been starting for Jamaica for the past, you'd have said about a year, since Whitmore have all of them play there, the crapper player there. Who are the man we have started against? Serbia or our next team name where them they play? Saudi Arabia. Who are the man we have started all along?
Hold on. He started in Saudi Arabia, if memory serves me right. He started, right?
Down the line. Remember all of them match them down. Yeah, down the line, all of them match them before. Who did that start?
I don't remember. I don't remember Saudi Arabia game.
Tamar Nicholson, did not make the Saudi Arabia trip,
Exactly. And Corey Burke wasn't there either.
Exactly.
I think Corey Burke was injured. But I have a strong feeling if that guy was not injured.
The MLS guys
Corey Burke was at MLS.
Yeah, the MLS guys didn't go. So Blake wasn't there, Corey Burke wasn't there, Alvas wasn't there either. All three of them at Philadelphia Union, they didn't go. So, well, Alvas came a little bit after, but still.
My feeling, not being injured, Javan East would have started. Because, I don't know, what tier do Whitmore today, sir? But him have a lot of faith. Because if him have left Andre Gray and carry that
never leave Andre Gray, boss. Andre Gray got
explain the situation.
His documents weren't ready as yet.
Yeah, they weren't ready. Yeah. I think he got it Wednesday halftime, though. And the squad they dropped Monday.
Okay.
So,
yeah. All right, I have a point.
Go ahead.
You see, me at 1 second on my boss. Sorry for cutting. I just want to highlight this quickly. Sorry to cut you, my boss. But
no
you
problem.
See, we are beat up, for things outside. You see, my boss, they are beat up, and Gray couldn't be night, because Gray never have no documents, and they are beat up.
Listen,
are we being unfair with Tapa?
You think?
No, brother. 7 years.
But you beat him something a while ago and couldn't do no better.
True.
At 3 years, I maximum. Who should the country Tapa could have there do the mess up here? And still again.
All right. Well, may interrupt somebody. Make him go.
All right. I have a couple points. First,
hold on, Jabbar. Go ahead, Jabbar.
Yeah, firstly, the guy
I'll be back, people.
The other country then bring C and Z team and all of that. Listen, names don't play football anymore, It's the system and the style of play. Because you can bring a 12-year-old and play against a group of 12-year-old with a good system and still beat Jamaica. So it's not all about names again.
But to add to that, Jabbar, though, based on what one of our callers said, Jamaica has neither. So
Right. I agree. But if you look at the Mexican team, they don't have the A players, but Mexico playing like they still all players out there. They still the style of play, the quick passing and all of that. They still playing the same style of football. So it's not all about the player. I just in the Javanese thing. I don't see with all them 60 names where Jamaica released. I don't see Javanese making that team. Even Shamal Nicholson too. Be honest. I don't see Shamal Nicholson starting over Roof and Antonio and Gray. They are more clinical strikers. We Jamaicans just give them a big name because them score wonder goal. Shamal Nicholson earned him name from the goal him score against US. I never say him not a clinical striker, you know, but there's a lot of things. I went to the games and saw Jamaica play live. There's a lot of things Shamal Nicholson need to learn as a striker. The best striker
True.
we have in that team right now, the Gold Cup team, is Hoiberg and Gray. Honestly. I don't think Shamal Nicholson should start in that squad either. Based on his style of play and everything that I saw with my two eyes and the games. Hoiberg should start every game, to be honest.
all right, Jabbar, question. With all the names that we have now in attack, you mentioned Roof, you mentioned Mikel Antonio, Andre Gray, obviously, Corey Burke, Shamar Nicholson, Javon East. I can't see Jamaica bringing 4 or 5 center forwards, you know, because all these guys are center forwards. Corey Burke, he can play out wide every now and then.
Right.
Who gets left behind?
Well, East get left behind. For me, for my pick, East get left behind. Shamal Nicholson get left behind. For me, reserve team. Anything happen to the others, you can call them in. But Javan East and Nicholson get left behind for me.
Okay. Folks in the comment section, let me know who you think. Who
I
you
want to
think?
do
All right, go ahead, Kwan. Go ahead, Kwan.
yes.
I
I want
forgot
to do an
about you.
overall assessment of the whole
The Gold
performance.
Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Jamaica, why Jamaica lose last the game last night?
All right, go ahead, Kwan.
All right. Number one, the starting lineup was wrong. And the
Who
position of the player
hold on, Kwan. Who would you have started? Let us hear who would have been your starting 11.
at the back, I would have Mariapa and Liam Moore,
Okay.
Kemar Lawrence, Alva Spoil.
Okay, so you take out Damian Lowe then. You
Now I
take
would
out
put
Damian
him
Lowe.
at CDM.
Oh, okay.
And I would put DJ at CAM.
Okay.
And put Speedy as a box-to-box midfielder.
Okay.
And I would put Bobby Reed on the right, Blair Turgot on the left, and Andre Gray up front. The starting lineup now that Tapa chose last night. First thing go wrong, Corey Burke.
All right, I'm getting a feedback, folks. Hold on, Kwan. I'm getting a feedback. Can you guys mute your mics, please, so Kwan can talk? Thanks. All right, go ahead, Kwan.
All right, Corey Burke was the first problem.
I think it's Kwan's crickets.
Yeah, man, it's Kwan.
It's Kwan crickets.
From
all right.
the number 9 role, because Corey Burke, I see Corey Burke start against Costa Rica. No, he come on in a game and play a center forward role. He doesn't know anything about number 9 role. Corey Burke. He strayed from his position and went over to the right of Blair Turgot. That's what caused Blair Turgot to had that bad game in the first half, because he was straying all over the field and Bobby Reed take up his position. So it only left Speedy and DJ who are playing deep. And that's where the American team got to press the Jamaican, start to press them, because the whole identity of the starting players were all over the place. No one was playing their role. Because
could it be that they were unfamiliar with the formation that the coach set up though? Because remember, Hold on. I'll allow you to go afterwards. Let me just put this question together. Just playing devil's advocate. Because Bobby Reed and Corey Burke, they were playing in a two up top. Now the United States, they were playing basically three at the back, and then when they were defending, they had maybe five. So Corey Burke pressing them meant he at times had to go further wide to get that press on, and then Bobby Reed would be dragged as well. So it kind of resulted in him crowding up, as you mentioned, Blair Turgot's space, and that may have been one of the reasons you got that impression that he was out of his position. Could that have been one of the factors?
No, I couldn't agree because
no, it's a question. It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing. It's just a question.
Yeah. You have four players playing up front. You have Flemings, Blair Turgot, Corey Burke, and Bobby Reed. All those players are PSC players. It didn't need for Corey Burke to be straying all over the place. He should stick where his position should be, his role on the field should be. The formation was a 4-2-3-1. So in no case Bobby Reed was a second striker to Corey Burke because it was a 4-2-3-1 formation. If Andre Gray did start, you would have a different game because he create space up front and he understand that role and chance create when he play at that center forward position. He know how to create chance. Even Nicholson, but the problem with Nicholson, he cannot finish. He will score the hardest goal and get 10 easy one-on-one chance and can't score one. So that's the problem with Shamar Nicholson. Those two players as a center forward, they know how to create goals, but Shamar Nicholson cannot score. That's the problem.
All right. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Andre Gray need more time. You cannot have a Premier League player who qualify Watford to the Premier League, even though he didn't play score as much goal, but we see where he has an impact because he was there before in the Premier League and he play well. He did need more time. He did need more time. You cannot call him and just have him playing 9 and 10 minutes. It cannot work.
I agree with you, Kwan.
Play better when he's playing on the left. Even at his club, he play better. You cannot get nothing out of Blair Turgot playing on the right. Nothing. He's a left-sided player. He like to go down the flank and cut in and shoot. He start against Costa Rica. He started against Costa Rica, and they put him on the right, and he didn't make any impact. He didn't make any impact because
against Costa Rica.
Turgot no play against Costa Rica.
Yes, he didn't make any impact.
Boss against Costa Rica. Kwan.
Remember when he assists, he have to stray. He stray from the right and go all the way on to the left. That's how he assists.
Kwan. Turgot created about 5 clear goal scoring.
Where he created from? On the left, he stray.
No.
Watch the game. He stray from his position. Where did he assist Andre Gray when he kick it on the upright? He was on the left. And he
wasn't.
Right
he had come a bit more centrally because
he cannot play.
Remember, Maggie had trapped back in and won the ball, right?
No.
And he had sent it out to Lawrence, blazing down the flank.
Folks, remember to like the live, folks.
Turgot moved into that space because Lawrence needed a passing
he cannot
option.
play. That's why he always
boss. Turgot played more centrally. He drifted into a more central position at that point in time because Lawrence
on the right.
But you know hear what me I say, Kwan. You know hear what me I say.
I hear what you say and I heard it.
But you didn't give me a chance to talk, one. I'm here to hear what me say, boss.
One feel pressured. Me feel pressure to you, one. I say, go.
No,
When the
but what
World
me I
Cup
say
come, we are
no,
going to cry.
one, what me I say no, boss, is that Turgot and that particular play drifted into a more central position to be a passing option, a well-needed passing option for Kemar Lawrence, because McGee had tracked back and had won the ball and had sent it out wide to Lawrence and was out of position at that point in time. So when he became the passing option for Lawrence, he received the ball in a more central position and then played the role of provider, playing in Andre Gray in behind the defense, who, you know, we saw had hit the post. So you can't he was supposed to be the passing option for Kemar Lawrence on that particular play, because Maggie was out of position because he had tracked back. So I never do nothing wrong on the play, Kwan.
Let me see if we can hear Kwan's
Kwan gone.
rebuttal.
Kwan look like him gone.
No,
Kwan, you there?
I think him always have internet problems. Cause him come on for my. By the way, Kwan, when you come out, when you forward on for my life, why you not do all of them talking here, Kwan?
no, sometimes the overcast cause on the signal.
All right, my point though,
All right, go ahead.
in order for Jamaica to qualify for this coming World Cup, our main problem is holding midfield. Daniel Johnson is not a holding midfield, he's an attacking midfielder. And I think Williams is a good player. He put out a good show last night, but I think we still need somebody here in the midfield. That's here in the middle and calm down the game. We still need a holding midfielder. With all this thing too. I mean,
Stuart is going to provide that.
Maggie is a good player, honestly. Watching him from Manning Cup come up, but Jamaican people are hype him too much. Maggie still need time and exposure, because Maggie not playing ball for a couple months and everybody asking, oh, send out Maggie. Yes, he put on a good show, but Maggie is not fit. You don't want a baller who can only give you 30 minutes, 25 minutes. You want a baller who can play the whole entire 90 minutes. Because watching Maggie live, I saw he only give Jamaica a good 30 minutes. From that, he's walking on the pitch and everything because him not fit. Him not ready. So people cry out, oh, send on Maggie. Yes, he's clinical, he's a good player, but you need fit players out there. I wouldn't bring Leon Bailey either. Leon Bailey just recovering from a broken toe. Leon Bailey is not fit. Why bring an unfit player? Yes, you're gonna bring a big name. Yes, Jamaica have a big name player. Yes, he's the best player in the squad. But still, I want to bring Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is an injured player. See, he don't play last night and he don't play the game before because Leon Bailey have a hamstring injury. That's the reason why he don't come on last night, you know. We saw him warming up on the sideline, but I didn't know he wasn't getting in the game last night because Leon Bailey was training by himself for the last couple of days. He was training by himself. He have a hamstring injury. To recover, yes, but why bring an injured player to the league? An unfit player to the competition?
So essentially what you're saying in Javar is Jamaica went to the tournament with 21 players there. It's not 22 anymore because we know Rabel's situation.
Right.
We took Rabel's name and we took essentially Leon Bailey's name as well.
Yeah, but as mentioned earlier, names don't play football again, you know. Nobody not play that big name anymore. You understand? Nobody. You can use fitness play football right now, and their brain and system. Because I wanna bring Leon Bailey and I wanna bring Maggie. Maggie wasn't competitive for the last couple months. So
Why, my friend?
why bring in a player we can give a 90-minute game?
My boss, a whole heap of players you wouldn't bring them if that was the case.
Even Taxi.
DJ did out, you know.
I wanna bring Taxi either.
You would have bring Hector? Because Hector don't play in the ball for a while in the ball.
Well, listen.
Hector don't play from about January.
No, man, the last time he played about March when we played the US. That's the last time.
With me picking a Jamaica team, I don't see Hector in my team, you know. But at the end of the day, too, Tapa and Tapa they pick the team, you know. A lot of people don't know that and I blame Tapa. And the idea and Tapa pick the team.
I don't think him pick it either, to be honest with you.
Tapa is a yes man. Tapa is a yes man. And I get a little pocket money whenever I'm on time. Tapa is a yes man. Then bring in Paul to help the team. And to help Tapa. To try qualify for World Cup. Right now, Paul is the coach. I think Paul is the coach of the team right now. But Paul just come. I mean, he want to show his impact.
Why you think that? Why you think he's the coach of the team right now?
Because Paul is a bigger coach overall. And I think them bringing him to help Tapa. Because them realize Tapa don't have a system. But they don't want to just get up and fire Tapa. I don't look disrespectful and all of them things. Remember, Jamaica can't afford the next coach, you know. They want to say JFF have much money and all of that. If JFF have money, why them have problem paying the players?
They want it for themselves, brother.
Huh? JFF have no money. You realize how much person they sponsor the football league right now.
Alright, may I ask you, you feel like if Renee Simons did alive, Tapa would have still have a job? If I Renee Simons or anything, Tapa have nowhere.
Borrell?
Yes.
I can't say Renee Simons dead.
No, Renee Simons not dead.
So Captain Burrell, we're not happy. Sue with me now and then name business then.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, well.
If a captain, 100 seconds or whatsoever, bye-bye.
Well, he's the best president Jamaica ever see. Well, I think personally, Mr. Burrell need to spend his personal money with the JFF. So, in bread money. In the
Shut hey, no ramp with Shatta and Shatta no miss nothing, man. I really means to say Shatta. Jesus, man. I bore mistake the man. Hey, that bridge my only for time in a half time.
Shatta, me jump up to Shatta, me frightened.
Renee Simons, I would have one coach, no?
Me frightened Shatta.
Brother, they can't go World Cup.
My boss.
I wouldn't know Renee Simons. You just born the other day then, man.
Man, 94, man. That's what they.
Oh, you just born the other day, man.
My boss.
Someone about 92 and I tell a man about 94. Just one.
Of course. When me I walk him no born it.
Only halftime TV, folks.
My boss. We are say about Paul Hall, you know. It's a massive conspiracy theory that's in the boss. We don't have no fact we can say that conclusively. Say Paul Hall around the thing in the boss.
We have a bunch of conspiracy theories coming out of the Gold Cup, you know? A bunch of conspiracy theories because we even had some around that Bobby Reid and the COVID issue and all of that. So
that we need to find out because normally 14 days quarantine and all of that test and this and Bobby Reid catch COVID and within a couple of days Bobby Reid ready.
No, bro, he was asymptomatic. So once him get back two negative results, them are gonna allow him to play.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Three more likes to 50, folks. 3 more likes to 50. Just hit the like button.
Yeah, man. Run up half time, like.
Well, 50 not enough. We 100 is enough.
We have the jerseys coming in, folks. We have the jerseys coming, so don't worry about that. We have the signed jersey giveaways. We got 1,000 subscriptions now, so it's time to give back something to you, the fans, as well. So if not. Yeah, man. I love family. We appreciate it.
Me have a thing to say still, you know. All who want to see Tapa go, you know. The only time you go see Tapa go is Jamaica gonna qualify for World Cup. But
all when they not qualify, them still go keep him. Because they come like they don't know if fire people.
Brother,
no man, them are gonna fire him, man. Them are gonna fire him.
People can Jamaica afford a coach?
That's a thing again.
Let me ask you a question. Jamaica, remember, Jamaica money now in the valley, you know. Every coach right now, good coach out there, you have to go overseas, which you have to pay in US.
Yeah. So I think the US Tapa get, man. Well, no matter, them not, ever hear them attack.
TD, not the official Jamaica jersey. I have some jerseys from the players who I've interviewed on here, and then some more. Right? I might get a jersey from the Gold Cup. I was promised one. I'm not resting my laurels on them as yet, but if I get them, you guys will know. One of the players who played at the Gold Cup promised me that he'd send me a jersey.
So I never hear them attack and mention money and mention Jamaican dollars. Never. US.
Jamaican money none of value.
I have a question.
So they not talk about that. So US they talk about.
Who would you guys blame for the goal last night?
Fisher. About 3 people, no man. About 3 people wrong, man.
Fisher, Blake,
people wrong.
and Lawrence. Because Lawrence will block the cross. Fisher, a P mark that. Fisher, does Fisher.
First of all, I agree with the Fisher thing because I wouldn't send on Fisher because Mariapa. If you realize, Fisher play.
Man, get this other folks. He's blaming Fisher even before, as soon as Fisher got on the field.
I think last night before even Fisher come on, me tell my cousin, say, listen, if Fisher come on, me start watching game, Jamaica go lose.
Fisher should never have been brought to the tournament.
True.
Exactly.
The first thing the man come on, the man
100% agree.
The man
I blame Blake for the goal,
Yeah, Blake shouldn't come.
I blame Blake for the goal because beating Fisher and everything, you are the last man to save the goal. The captain, everything. I blame Blake for the goal. Forget about Fisher and everybody. Me blame the captain for the goal.
But if Blake stay on his line, it would have beat him. He has to come.
Yeah, but he come for the ball and yet when you come for the ball and miss the ball.
No, but he didn't choose to miss the ball.
Yeah,
he come up with a guard.
In decision making in about a split second too late. Because him take a little bit too long to left the line.
If Fisher did jump, it would have thrown off the US player who
Well done. So you see why everybody are blame him.
He just stand up like a deadlock on the field.
Fisher and Lawrence and Flemmer were the 3 main culprits in my
Flemmer
there was no pressure on the
cross. 65 minutes in the game,
There was no pressure on the cross.
In both long time.
65 minutes in the game. Boy, if Tapa could have heard me through the TV last night.
Take him off.
Me a beg for the man come on, because one at a time I see all Daniel Johnson.
Him back in lie down.
Exactly.
One at a time.
Exactly. Daniel Johnson have a good tournament, but I think last night was his worst. Flemings will come off for 65 minutes in the game. Flemings boss.
Yeah, man. Flemmer boss, man, and then he started throwing himself on the floor.
Exactly.
Started throwing himself on the floor.
I think energy level.
Like him watch too much YouTube, man.
And I think Daniel Johnson didn't have a good game last night. Well, he played well in the games.
I think Johnson was exposed. I think Johnson was exposed in midfield. Yeah.
They overthrow him and them crowd him out.
You know
when Daniel Johnson have the ball, all 4 or 5 man around him. Like they're not giving no option.
One of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize is that because of how poor Bobby D. Cardova Reed was, it put a lot of pressure on DJ and Steve as well, right?
Bobby
because
Reed
Bobby
play
Reed
that position. He
hold on.
play good.
No, Bobby Reed should never have touched the field from minute 1. Right? He can play the position. Yes, it's not his strongest position, but he was playing the position. He was brought to the tournament as an attacking midfielder, because of the thinness in personnel, right? So you have to bear that in mind in personnel available for the tournament. So you have to bear that in mind. And also, because Bobby Reed was so poor in the game, right? I don't know if it's match fitness, much sharpness. I don't know what it is, but
blame COVID. Like
I don't know if it's
we're blaming COVID.
Yeah, that would affect.
I definitely would let him come on second half since he didn't play a couple games.
Yeah, he should have come off.
But he was poor against Suriname also, even though he scored.
The whole team was poor against Suriname.
Yeah, the
Barring
whole
the
team
defense.
for the first game, the
Barring
whole
the defense.
team
The whole team was poor.
today poor.
But my
Yes,
thing
but
is, we can't really pressure. I don't think it's right to pressure, especially a DJ in the middle of the park, because that linkage that Bobby Reed was supposed to be providing in the middle of the park, he was not providing it, and it was putting a lot of pressure on the likes of DJ and Speedy as well. As a matter of fact, he was putting pressure on the whole midfield and everybody when we were going forward. Like Bobby
As
Reed, and that's where I blame Tapper. Bobby Reed should have come off long time.
Formula, you spoke about Bobby Reed and the formation and what his role was. I think what we failed to realize is, and I saw someone post the formations earlier. As soon as the game started, all that went through the window because in my opinion, it was hardly ever a 4-2-3-1 throughout the game. It was hardly ever a 4-3-3. As I said, Bobby Reed was basically next to Corey Burke
Yeah,
for
as
the
soon as
most
the
part.
game started, it was 10 at the back and 1 up in the head. Just kick it up there and pray say catch him.
You
As
get what
soon
I
as the game
mean?
started. Yes.
Bobby
When the
Reed
game
was
starts,
almost playing as the next striker next to Corey Burke. And that's what I saw, especially in the first half. When he got that chance, striker position, the man, forget that. When he got that chance, everything about it, his positioning, everything, it was where you would expect your central striker to be. And
I
he
can't
was
believe
there.
them score
You
that
get what
out
I'm
now.
saying? So
Is who did give him the pass again?
I don't even
Taffy Lawrence.
I don't even remember. I know he got the ball to his feet.
Well,
So
you're gonna expect that from Bobby D. Cardova Reed,
I'm
when he's playing as a number 10, He's gonna make some good runs, into the box. I don't have an issue with him making good runs.
there's a difference with making the runs into the box, and you being that
in the box.
you being there. You get what I'm saying? Because all right, say for instance, a Christian Pulisic. Then I'm always making Chelsea references because forgive me, folks. Exactly. So forgive me. So a Christian Pulisic.
Anyway, they are good friends.
Yeah, my boy, man. Bless up yourself, Dre. We'll always have these guys running into the box. But for example, on Oliver Giroud, we expect him to be there. You get me? So that's a difference. And Bobby Reed was there. He wasn't running into the box, he was there. So
and most of the time he was there.
That's why I said the formation or what the coach asked of him wasn't a typical number 10 or attacking midfielder role. It was almost as if he was playing in a two with a striker. Probably Corey Burke was asked to press and him to stay a little bit closer in the neck or whatever. I don't know. But when I saw the team, the shape of the team when they were pressing and when they were moving, when the parts moved, Bobby Reed was always close to Corey Burke at the top. It wasn't a case where he was close enough to the midfielders to connect the play from DJ and Williams and get the ball through to Corey Burke. It wasn't that case.
You think that is the coach, or you think it's just Bobby not being?
No. I think that was asked of him, because if it were up to him, we know he would have been out wide or staying close, because he's a person who likes running at people. He likes having the ball at his feet and running at people. Even for that one, the chance that Junior Fleming got, when the defenders closed him down. If you're checking out, Bobby Reed was the closest option he had. Bobby Reed was not Corey Burke. Bobby Reed was that option.
That was just saying that.
Honestly, Norando, I think Jamaica play better in the 2 games they lost more than the 2 games they won. I think they play the best football I saw Jamaica play was in the Costa Rica game. They even play better against US in the 2 games, the Guadeloupe game and the first game. Jamaica create more chances and play a better ball game in the 2 games they lost. honestly.
I can agree with the Costa Rica one, but I can't agree with the US one.
Yeah, the second half against the US was poor.
I think the US game was
was
one of the worst games Jamaica played at the tournament, and
Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
No,
No, man,
I don't agree.
the Suriname game was atrocious.
Listen. The Suriname game was atrocious. Yes, fine, but the team wasn't exposed, and you could see that okay, it was lapse in concentration on the players' end. You get me? So it wasn't then okay they weren't able to do it. In the US game, we saw that it's almost as if they weren't allowed to do anything. So then you start calling into question their quality. You get me?
Against one USA Z team.
Exactly. In the Suriname game, the Jamaican team
all over the place.
The Jamaican team knew they were superior against the Suriname team, so they could afford to make mistakes, if that makes sense, right? So yeah,
some people say Suriname imposed their play on the Jamaicans. You know.
Remember in my review of that game, and I said Theodore Whitmore should cut out halftime talks, right? Because in the Serbia game, the team came out in the second half and they were garbage. In every game, Theodore Whitmore, when the team goes in at halftime.
Halftime, that was not Theodore Whitmore's fault.
No, hold on. No, I'm not saying it is fault. I'm just giving you my assessment that I made after it, because it was becoming an issue, because it was recurring. In Serbia game, they went in 1-0 halftime. They came out the second half, and it's almost as if they went on vacation. All right. The game after, in the Japan game, it's the same thing again, although the Japan team was far superior. In the Suriname game, they went in halftime again, and they came out and they fell asleep in the second half. What a first half Jamaica had against Suriname. If we were to remember correctly, that first half, everything went right for Jamaica.
Even the Guadeloupe game, no random.
Yeah, the second half when Suriname came out, it was almost as if we were playing against a prime Netherlands team with Johan Cruyff and everybody.
But
the second half.
Even the Guadeloupe game, Jamaica, it was just a lucky goal, honestly.
We have second half issues. We have second half issues formula.
In the Suriname game, truth be told, we started to fall asleep from in the first half, After we went
the back end of the first half. Yep.
The Serbia game, you can't really fault Tapa for that. Because
no, I'm not faulting Tapa. I'm not faulting Tapa, None of this. I'm not faulting Tapa. I just said when the team goes in, remember, halftime, the only thing that happens halftime that doesn't happen in the first half, or that's not happening, is you're locked in a room to talk with your coach. That's the only difference with halftime and the two halves of the football game. You're locked in a room with your coach. So I said we probably should cut out the halftime talk there, because the team playing great first half, and then as soon as we go into the room with the coach and come back out the second half, everything changes. No, I know. I'm not. I'm implying that we should cut out the halftime, because whenever the team come off the field and go in the locker room, they come out back on vacation. So that's what I took away from it. And as I said before, in the game against the USA, it was almost as if the players didn't have any quality. Right?
You think our players have fitness issues halftime?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And the mindset to formula, you see, because you have the mindset that you have to do too, because you can be unfit, Javar knows. When we were at Rossi's, Mr. Henry, I'm not sure if you know D.G. Henry. He's one of the most decorated schoolboy coaches in Jamaica. And he said, if you're not good, at least be fit. So regardless if you're not the best footballer ever, just ensure that you're fit, because that level of fitness, will contribute to your game throughout, right? Because you might not be technically sound, you might not be able to do all the wonderful things, the flair and all of that thing, but you're fit enough to cover, and you're fit enough to understand your role and to play a role effectively. The Jamaican players, they want to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. They want to dribble. They want to prove that they're better than the other player on their team, because you're playing on the same team. I don't see why you need to prove. If we are to be ultra critical now, you realize that even dribbling in football has become minimal now, and we're still dwelling on that. I'm not saying dribbling is a bad thing, but it's where and when, right? You can't be a right back or a left back and you're trying to dribble from you collect the ball.
Hold on the ball too long, man.
you're collecting the ball from your goalkeeper and you're trying to dribble to the half line.
Yeah.
Exactly. One next thing too. I think the team lack leadership because if you watch the Costa Rica game, you saw couple players there quarreling over a free kick. I don't know if you remember. Like
yeah,
man.
The game, you have Flemings, Shamal Nicholson, and somebody else.
Antonio, let me know what players you're talking about. What?
Free kick. I mean, come on, everybody feels that them a star in the side based on what we see and analyze from the game. But everybody balling for top and left the side. My question is, who is fit enough and who is there to take over the job right now from Tapa?
They need to get a coach from Argentina.
Jamaica need to
coach Argentina.
Argentina is struggling to win with the best player in the world.
No, it's not the coach fault. It's not the coach fault. It was messy and because they got a lot of chance against Germany and didn't make use of it. So it's not a coach's issue.
Yeah, all right. So
put it this way: Jamaica can't afford a coach. Go locally. Who would you give the job?
Who better, more experienced, with more accomplishment than Papa?
Well, no one has been given. None of the coaches in Jamaica has been given this opportunity.
Right.
No, I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just asking the questions that need to be asked, right? Because to date, I haven't shared my opinion on the situation.
I realize that today. I want us to, because we always dwell on the negative with Theodore Tapa Whitmore, right?
All right. Pull out the positives. Pull out the positives, Formula. Pull them out. We're waiting on the positive now.
The first, from my understanding of it, the first time we ever get a result against a European team, when we drew with Serbia. From my understanding of it, it's the first time we ever played a European team and never get either well, the whole time, then from my understanding, we get a L, right? So we get a draw against a European team, a team ranked in the top 25 in the world, right? Okay. So that's one thing. Two, the man check a team that had no business going to a Gold Cup final. He took them to the Gold Cup final, right? Took them to another Gold Cup semi-final, right?
I think I need a pen because I need to write down my pointers.
The video is recorded, man. The video is recorded.
No, I'm countering them right now.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thirdly, he's the only coach to beat the United States of America. He has beat them not once. He has beaten them not twice. He has beaten them 3 times. The only coach to beat them on American home soil as well.
Yeah.
Right? He's the only Jamaican coach, from my understanding of it, to coach the Jamaican national team that went to the Azteca and got a result. He's the only Jamaican coach, from my understanding of it, to beat Mexico in a World Cup.
Yeah.
There's that's what I said, we're focusing on all the negative. There's no the man has one of the highest win percentage ratios of any manager that has ever coached the national team. But there's no positives with Tapa.
Again, the win ratio perspective can be misleading, you know.
Because
he got a lot of win.
Yeah, and also remember, you know, Theodore Whitmore has had 4 different stints, and in my preview I didn't even mention his win ratio. I just mentioned how many wins he had with the national team, because again, across 4 different stints, it could be 5 games here, it could be 10 games there, it could be 50. It could be 50 games here. He was interim for 2 occasions, so and then 2 full stints.
Oh, yeah, but you can't. No, the interim but into full time.
No, but what I'm saying is these interim stints, they Because all right, when he just took over the first time, the interim, the first 3 games, it's a separate period from when he actually got the job full time, you know. So they count those different from everything. You get me? So when they're penciling it out, they have interim here and they have how many wins. They have interim here, they have how many wins, and then they have the 2 full stints. You get me? So you going through now, because Theodore Whitmore has had 42 wins with the national team from a possible 90 games, 42, 43, somewhere there. Right? From a possible 90.
1 second, halftime. No, Marlon, it's 3 times Marlon. Remember, you know, the National Stadium victory, the friendly victory, Boza stitched the wicked goal, Marlon, and also the Gold Cup as well, Marlon. 3 times my boss, Marlon, and 2 times. Yeah, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
What type is a B license top off, right? you know, B license is like an under 14 license. Because A license coach youths, you know.
Well,
coach youths and senior. B license is like an under 14, under 16 license.
It's more for youth development.
Right.
Fair point.
I have seen.
So I want to think the man did that girl when the man says a B license.
So Tapa really are doing work, you know, because he might give you B performance.
Yes.
Because at the same license stop boss.
So you can't expect a man with a G license to drive a PPV or a truck.
Exactly.
Halftime, you were saying something and I cut you.
Yeah. I don't even remember really.
Oh,
I don't even remember. It's okay.
I did cut you.
It's okay. No worries. No worries. It's okay. Probably it was Schaefer who beat US in the Gold Cup, not Tapa. In 2015, shooter general. All right. As I said, some interesting point of view. But again, I think there are a bunch of negatives there, but no, because we are emotional. We are still licking the wounds. Then, for lack of a better term, it's kind of difficult for us to make rational decisions and rational judgment now, because we are so emotionally invested in the team that we can't make proper decisions now. And that's why they say you don't make decisions when you're angry, right? Because you end up regretting those decisions afterwards. And I can see through Formula's rationale, but I can also see through Ryan's rationale. I know he's at work now, but I can see through his reasoning as well, because a lot of folks on here, kids on here, you probably start watching in the 2000s and you've never seen Jamaica gone to the World Cup, and you cheer for the Manchester Cities of this world because that's a team that you saw winning, right? So it's difficult for you to hang on to someone who's constantly losing, right? And it's the Arsenal. It's kind of like the Arsenal Wenger kind of mentality. So it's difficult. Like folks will tell you, oh, Arsenal had an invincible team and all of that, but you don't remember that because you're either too young or all of that. So you don't want that to be your basis on which you build your you can't score what you don't own. All right, welcome back. What are you doing? It's 2-time top one against USA Formula.
I saw somebody.
Yeah, man, Marlon. It was twice. You're right, Marlon. I
saw somebody in the comment section say, license don't play football. But if you don't reach up to that level of knowledge of football, how you gonna put out a team to play a certain type of way? If in order to get the license, you have to do programs and tests. So
I know if Tapa can win schoolboy football right now. Swear.
But remember, Tapa coach St. James, and
they never win.
But it's the same system he implement there when St. James didn't have that system there. St. James was doing well before Tapa went there.
Yes, Pastor Solomon was in charge of St. James, and they were doing well.
Remember, St. James have equal talent like Cornwall, you know. And Tapa has the player them playing defensive ball game and players who are skillful and player and long ball.
There's no coaches.
Did they have the same crop of players that they had under the previous coach? Because remember, with schoolboy football, is a quick turnover and a high turnover.
No. In 2015, he have a good bunch of youth. In
Nah,
2015.
no, Formula, Tapa get a good team. St. James High.
I'm asking.
Yeah, man.
He got a good team in 2015.
Yeah, man.
And he did poorly with them?
He didn't do nothing with them. Some skillful players, very skillful.
Andrew Jackson.
That to see if they can't pass the schoolboy level, why is coaching the senior team?
That's a good question.
Mickey Mouse,
if they can't pass the schoolboy level, why? How you gonna coach some big?
You cannot win the Manning Cup. You cannot win the DaCosta Cup, but you can go win Gold Cup. Never live.
Even some players right now know more than Tapa, to be honest, because Tapa ball game stopped play a long time ago. Even the international ball of them right now we play overseas know more about the game than the coach himself.
Better Bobby Reed coach's side and play.
No, the problem with Tapa why he doesn't want the overseas best player, because if you are a secondary, put it this way, you go into a secondary school. What can you teach a
high school
person
student
who are coming from a tertiary institution?
Hold on.
So Tapa is at a secondary level, and person coming into the national team who is at a level where you cannot teach them ABC again. They pass that level, so he cannot really teach them nothing. So he cannot face them. It's just like a teacher teaching a professor. You're gonna be nervous seeing a professor in front of you. What can you teach the professor?
Honestly,
that is a conspiracy, though, you know, that Tapa does not want to overseas based players, you know.
Honestly, my pick right now.
That is a conspiracy that, you know, we don't know if that is actually the case.
Honestly, my pick right now, I would give Paul Hall and Dean Burton a try at the team. To be honest. Because Dean Burton have a pro license, I think, or A license. So I would give Paul Hall a chance at Dean Burton, to be honest.
Dean Burton never there England a coach on look mini team, I think. I think him the coach on team like that.
He's at West Brom in the youth.
Yeah, he's coaching West Brom under 23.
Under 23.
Then the coach you want, man.
And I think Paul Hall was coaching some.
So I'm asking that question. Wasn't Winfried Schaefer coach? Winfried Schaefer coach Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. See, Winfried Schaefer come out there. Winfried Schaefer did go on with nothing. And
he needed more time. He needed more time. He needed more time. Schaefer needed more time.
The man had a full World Cup cycle, boss. What are you talking about? The man
what
how much Tapa get? 7 years now Tapa did it. So
hold up. We're talking about this particular term, boss. We're not fine. Tapa failed big time in the first.
All right.
Get that.
When Winfried Schaefer came, when he came here, what did he say about the Jamaican player? Remember, he didn't get an influx of player from UK. No? He was using the same current local player out here.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Wait.
No.
I'm gonna
remember time go for McConnell from McCleary, West Morgan.
Look.
Michael Hector come there too, you know.
The Rock, Donaldson.
You should have care about Michael Hector when he go.
Michael Hector, exactly.
What did he say? What did he say when he came here and using the local players? He said they cannot control. They don't know the basic of football. He needs some player like Sterling.
No, but the pitches are totally different in Jamaica, you know. So the Premier League. Me there came on now. And since I come a Cayman, the type of feeling when I play upon over here, I feel like a handicap. Because when you look for some bad bunks and some boom up, that not there. It does a roller come to you smooth.
The muscle memory.
Yeah.
The bunks and the bunks are there.
And it does skate that forward fast, you know. It does
muscle memory are used to the
ball. When you use the ball, I roll up and stone bounce it over stone. That not there. So when players
Stewart, God rest his soul, you know, Tremaine Stewart actually said, you know, that when he went to Norway, you know, in an interview he did years ago. He said that he had to basically relearn his touch.
Yeah,
He went to
Tantan.
Norway.
I mean, know Tantan from Eltham school, and Tantan then used to the baller go over this time. And when him go to Norway and come back, a total different baller.
I agree, because if you watch, I've been watching Jamaica Premier League since the start. If you realize how the players them play on the JFF Center, every coach, after listening to their interview, oh, these players don't used to the field as yet. And every coach on their interview talking about the field. And
Yeah,
that
man.
is so true.
Yeah,
The,
man.
Yeah,
the
because
Premier League playing at the
pitches
JFF
are
Center now.
totally different, flat. No hole, no the face step in on your foot,
Yeah, because
ring
it's an
and them thing
artificial
there.
surface at the JFF Center right now. And
Yeah.
every coach, oh, the players don't use to the surface as yet and all of that. And yeah, that's for real. Surface is a thing.
Yeah, man.
Formula,
Mm.
I want your opinion on this one from L&J. No, L&J said, I bet you if you had put the team against the United States on the field without a coach to play freely, they would have given a better performance.
Them would have win. Them would have win.
No. You can't. No.
Them would have win, man.
In all factual. No. That would not, because you need direction. You need instruction.
Solskjaer coach Manu and that thing do every day. Just say go and go play. And them will win.
No, boss. That if we're gonna be real and if we're gonna, be credible, there's no way without a sense of direction. Right? I mean, regardless of what we want to say about Tapa in terms of lack the vision, lack a style.
Just make it clear, man. Primary school coach.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way, then fine, that's your opinion. But regardless of what we want to say about how bad Theodore Tapa Whitmore is, you need a coach for offer some sort of instruction, right? To determine the roles of players, the formation, the roles, some amount of tactics, etc. No, I not agree with that one, the LNG. I see your point, and I think this is a joke, to be honest with you. I think it's
a joke.
On the other hand, too, how I look at it, right? I mean, since football been on a pause for so long, and you have national teams not playing football frequently like the club, why JFF don't spend the money and let Tapa take these courses and get more, what would I say, knowledge of the game nowadays? I think JFF should be blamed too, because if Tapa is the only coach you have that agreed to take that little chum change, spend money on Tapa, send him out there, go do some coaching courses.
Yeah.
And time though.
Spend the money.
They did spend the money for him to get
the money and send him to the United States. Go learn.
No, you know the problem about You know the problem about the educate. Here's where I fought the JFF, right? Because they did pay money to go make him do the B license, in the United States. The problem is they need to send him to Europe, because coaching
Germany
in Europe is a lot cheaper and better than coaching education in the US.
The US coaches don't win nothing.
And
so you're going to the United States to get your coaching education, so you can come back and play against the United States with the hope of beating the United States.
And the United States not all they want to use one of them one coach, Molly.
Oh, interesting stuff. Interesting. But there are programs in Jamaica, that offer scholarships to students to go to Europe, and you're pinned to the government for at least 5 years when you return. So the JFF can do that. Send Tapa to Europe to get his coaching, whatever, and then ensure that it's a part of the contract. Okay, you have to give back X amount of service to the federation or to whatever. You get me? So.
But the coach name from JC, the JC coach.
Miguel Coley.
Where is he now? I think we see him.
He's with Schaefer. Yeah, he's with Schaefer.
I think he just got a new
in the Middle East. Yeah, he got that.
That the man, they look like him have a more him have a more style of play than Tapa. I feel like him will do a better job.
But recently Schaefer said he is the best one to take over the national team.
Miguel Coley.
Yeah, but
them man understand how to win.
Yeah, but Schaefer got said that about him, Virgin.
Yeah, and
No,
he's
and
Schaefer's
remember
right
him
hand.
too.
he is Tapper's virgin also, you know. Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah,
Schaefer?
honestly,
No,
over time, right?
Miguel Coley, wasn't Coley with the national team one at the time?
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
was
in the
an
youth team.
assistant coach. I remember Miguel Coley, he is a youth coach, right? He's getting exposure now and doing all of that. But he proved himself on the youth level. Remember,
Yeah.
it's
So
senior
me I
level
give
we're talking about, you know. Not
Exactly.
youth level, you know.
2 years,
But-
son, no. 2 years.
So it's just like same
But
thing
he has
with
been an
Lampard.
assistant coach in a bar.
Chelsea rush Lampard
Yeah.
and give him a big job when he can't manage. It's just like giving a youth coach, a senior team, a job when he can't manage. So
Similar to
sometimes
Theodore
we the
Whitmore.
people,
But yeah,
we the people rush things.
an argument could be made for that too, because
Against
Miguel Coley
Theodore
did well.
Whitmore.
Yeah, Miguel Coley did well with his schoolboy team, and Theodore
And Tapper
Whitmore didn't do
Whitmore
well
with
with his schoolboy
nothing.
team.
Exactly, that's
Did
true.
not
That's
do
true. I
nothing.
agree.
And one's the coach of the national team now, and one's still an assistant coach. So perspective, bossy.
What has Tapper ever won as a coach? I must want Sunday League go win and know about. Nothing. Miguel Coley win Manning Cup for much years. He win Olivia Shield. You
But
give
so
them
you
the man their
boss,
chance, man.
you are saying
But
that
remember
you are
when
willing.
Whitmore
You
came
are
in
saying that you are
2007,
willing to
Whitmore
get
was
rid
not
of.
coach.
You are saying that you are willing to get rid of Theodore Tapper Whitmore right now, and replace him with Miguel Coley. Theodore Tapper Whitmore. Look, I want to make this absolutely clear to people watching. You know, I am not saying that Tapper is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, I'm not saying that. My whole argument is that firing him right now on the eve of a World Cup qualification is not wise.
So when would you fire him?
When we drop out.
I would take him to the World Cup qualifiers, and if he fails, him fail. If him go through,
and then we have to go wait 4 years to correct the mistake. 4 years.
Well, the good thing in it. Here's the good thing about the next World Cup, you know, because if Tapper is around the next World Cup, it's free, you know, it's a free. We don't have anything. We don't have Jamaica and Costa Rica.
Halftime. I want to say this. I want to say this, right?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, remember Tapper and the players are good. You don't know the
Yeah.
Right now to him being fired. But I want to say this. We are calling for Miguel Coley, right?
Well,
people, individuals on the panel.
I made a suggestion.
Okay.
No,
I made a suggestion.
Boss, in my humble opinion, that's not a wise suggestion for Miguel Coley to replace Theodore. Remember, as bad as you think Tapper is, right? Tapper has, as a national team coach on the international level, has a 50+ win percent ratio in a boss. Has beaten the United States, as the only Jamaican, if I'm not mistaken, the only Caribbean coach, right? And one of the few in CONCACAF to get a result against Mexico. Take the team to Gold Cup final, only Jamaican coach to get a positive result against a European team, all of that stuff, right? We are measuring that against Miguel Coley, who has won Manning Cup. And we are saying Miguel Coley to replace Tapper.
Listen to me, now. May I ask you a simple question? You see the team going forward for the past 2 years, being at the Gold Cup, we got the final, we got the semi-final. You see no improvement? And
in what?
Honestly,
in terms of results,
everything overall. Style of play, results. You see no improvement being made? Where you can say, yes, we left from that level here to that level there.
Well, the improvement would be winning the Gold Cup, because if we've been to the Gold Cup final, the next improvement. Right, so
like
the only way to improve on that is to win it.
But
so
reverse. We are in reverse.
But I'm saying, but same argument formula. If he's the one who has taken us to the final, the only way for him to build on that trip to the final is to win. No? Am I making sense, formula? I'm just asking.
But there are a number of variables that play. The preparation to the Gold Cup tournament was poor.
Listen, him go final, then him go semi-final, then him go quarter-final. So just look, reverse. You see next time him go, first round exit.
Him never just get a good result against a European team. No other manager.
Again, you've been saying that for the end. It is a fact. It is a fact. But here's how it comes down again. Perspective, right?
Yeah.
And I said this before. Regardless of the US team that goes out there, whenever Jamaica plays them, they're not playing the US under 21. They're not playing the US Z or C team or whatever. They're playing the USA, right?
Yeah, because they have a style of play.
Right. No, not necessarily, but because it's the USA. So when they come out on the pitch, it doesn't say USA under C team, B team, or whatever. It just says USA because these are the players selected to represent the United States of America, right? No, the Serbia team that Jamaica played, it didn't have, I think, 85% of their players who would usually play weren't playing. Right? Hold on. You're talking about diminished. I'm not even talking about diminished. I'm talking about Serbia having 8 players on the field at any given time who were playing for the first time. Yeah. You get me? So again. Oh, sorry. Who were under 23? Who were under 23.
And don't forget the Japan under 21s or under 23s.
That wasn't
we kick with the sticks.
I'm not talking about the Japan team because the Japan team was a quality team preparing to go to the World Cup, to the Olympics, for however long. It had big stars. It had Kubo who plays for Real Madrid. It had the youngster who plays in Bundesliga and is one of the
was better than ours halftime.
Exactly. The Japan team, like I can't. The only thing I said about Japan team is it doesn't look good on paper. That under Japan under 23 because I come back to it because we'll see US if Jamaica plays against USA and we lose against USA, it says USA regardless of the personnel. But if you play against Japan under 24, it looks bad just even before you look through the names. It looks bad because under 24, and then you get what I'm saying. So that's my assessment of that game. But with the Serbia game, getting a draw against the Serbia team, I don't think it's history, yes, but again, it's perspective, right? It's not that great a result.
But the performance was good.
Again, it's not that great a result because we're talking about players here who are novices. They're just coming onto the scene. Their third choice striker didn't play. The youngster who was playing
hold on. But to be fair in a halftime, both teams were heavily diminished.
I agree.
Had a player on the park who was a starter for Sevilla.
Yeah, he was there. Exactly. So he was there in the midfield, right? Come again.
Their team on paper was better than ours.
No. I can't agree. I can't agree that their team on paper was better than Jamaica's team. They had
Javan East on the pitch.
Javan is no good baller, man.
Good baller. But I wouldn't even go any further on that because
only Fisher was on the park for heaven's sake.
He was on the park too.
That's true, but our team was heavily diminished after.
As I said before, this Serbia team that we played against, the striker who played for Serbia, this was I think it was his first game. Not Vlahovic is a third choice striker for Serbia. And
no, man, right now he's the first choice.
Vlahovic?
Yeah, man, right now he's the first choice. He started in the World Cup qualifiers.
So yeah, because Mitrovic was injured.
No, man, Mitrovic came off the bench, man. Remember when Mitrovic stitched the 2 goals them against Northern Ireland? He came,
but what I'm saying, Mitrovic came back from an injury because Mitrovic has been back and forth throughout his injury for this season. But naturally, Mitrovic is a starting striker. Vlahovic had a good season this season at Florence in Italy. And he broke his way into the team. The youngster that we're talking about, no, this guy is just coming onto the scene.
But to be fair in a halftime, that guy was tearing up the Serbian league, a good league.
18-year-old.
He was tearing up the Serbian league.
So you are telling me that our defenders in the national are even Javan East that you mentioned. Remember, Javan East got MVP in his league in Costa Rica or whatever.
Okay.
Right? He got the best player.
League and Serbian league.
No, I'm not saying yay nor nay. I'm just saying the mere fact that Javan East got MVP in his league, he would have had a little bit of expertise in comparison to an 18-year-old just breaking out in his debut season. Right? So we can expect more from Javan East in comparison to a youngster who's just coming on. No? No?
I see a perspective. I see where you're coming from, but I respectfully disagree. If a player at 18 is a wonder kid, he's just a wonder kid.
So is that youngster a wonder kid? He's not.
The player was tearing up a good league, to be fair to him. And you're isolating cases, but generally speaking, the team was a better team than ours.
We say higher level, yes, because they're in Europe, but all of these guys are just coming onto this, and most of them they get in first, second, third caps, and a chunk of these players will not make it, not even close to a Serbia, the real Serbian team.
Them name not even right on the paper.
And that's
not from I remember.
They
are better quality players.
The
Serbian team, you know. Remember in halftime, the Serbian team, you know, the starting team, you know, is arguably world class, you know.
They have a few world class players. I can't say nay. And the midfield, I don't remember his name. What's his name? Oh, plays in number 8 for Sevilla.
Oh, Godel.
Gidel. When he came out in the second half, we could see that he was a class above everybody else. Damian Lowe did well in the first half, but in the second half, when Gidel stepped up his game, we could see that it was chalk against cheese, and that's not only in comparison to the Jamaican team, was in comparison to his fellow teammates as well, right? So, if we're talking about golfing quality, Gidel showed that he is a level above his team that he was playing in, as well as the Jamaican players. I can agree with that. But for the remaining players on the field, I didn't see much difference. I didn't see them outplaying Jamaica. I didn't see...
They didn't, but they were better quality players though, in terms of their resume.
They are technically better than Jamaica because of how football is taught in their country.
Can I ask a question then?
Go ahead.
Formula, you just said the US team where you see last night better than the Jamaican team?
That's a good question.
They play better. They play at a higher level.
Alright, it's not a better team, but the team that US have right now is just like an MLS All-Star team.
Yeah.
Everybody playing in the same league, and most players used to each other. We have Jamaican team mix up all over the place. We have players from all about. Player where
how long was the training camp that? How long was the camp that Whitmore had the players for?
About 10 days, if memory serves.
10 days? No man, I think I'm more than that, man.
Or 2 weeks or something like that.
Cause me here, man, a ball.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 long weeks. Most players when they come from preseason and then get 2 weeks.
John Doe, I don't think so.
And not everyone was in the squad, you know.
I don't think so, John Doe. I hope that answers the question.
Was in the squad.
But you have to remember also, you know, that the American MLS players, you know, there's a difference between training and playing, you know, the actual competitive games, you know. And they were fresh out of the MLS. That is still going on.
That's what I was just going to say, because even during the competition, I think Philadelphia Union played a game 2 days ago.
Exactly.
So the guy, whenever Jamaica's players go back, they probably get a few days off, and then they're back in training again to play next match.
If you realize Coreyberg energy in the game versus all the rest of Jamaican players, Coreyberg play MLS, so I'm fresh from the league too. Yeah. And the other thing, not all the players was in the squad for the 2 weeks. Remember, Andre Gray came in late, Taxi came in late. Me and Durando have a conversation. Taxi shouldn't be in the squad.
No time.
Taxi shouldn't be in the squad.
Inside
Why?
just
He can't come
concede
into the
about
country, you
7.
know. Listen, if
Oh,
you can't come
because
into the country, boss,
yeah.
go and stay in your
What I
club.
mean.
Go and make money in your club. Because we need serious players. We don't need no joke players.
Well, we have a bunch of people now who aren't serious based on the assessment of us, the fans, because players didn't get their documents. We blame them for not being serious about the program. Players didn't show up on time. We blame them about not being serious about the national program. So,
Legitimate.
Well, there's exceptions for the one that don't, the players that don't get documents, you know. But for the likes of Taxi up and running, everything was okay. Taxi came in the squad like a couple of days before the tournament.
As him feel like him bigger than the squad, man.
Because he was a replacement for Javan East.
2 days or 3
Andre
days
Gray,
before.
oh yeah, because Andre Gray's situation is
it's different.
Yeah.
Korberg came in the squad like maybe 5 days before because I watched him play for Philadelphia side when the Reggae Boyz was training.
LNJ is not the first. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when Jamaica played the USA earlier in the year. It was the same situation. For the first 30 minutes, I think Jamaica completed 15 passes. So it's a
But to be fair,
it's not just the USA. Not just the USA. No.
I want to say something halftime because look, don't get me wrong, you know, Tapper, majority of the blame lays at the feet of Theodore Tapper Whitmore for yesterday's loss, right?
Yeah.
But to be fair enough, first there was problems with the midfield going into this tournament, you know. Things never changed in the tournament, you know. I think we all forget that. Look, Speedy had a very good tournament, right? He had trust me. In all the games, he had even in the US game, he had a reasonably okay game, right? Reasonably.
Yeah, do a good job, man.
He had a decent game in the
7 out of 10.
Nah, that little too high, my boss, but okay.
Man, I edge towards a 5.5. This man goes 7.
I didn't play the best. Who used to play better than him last night?
Yeah, all right.
I mean, different from Daniel Johnson.
To be fair,
Daniel Johnson had a bad game last night. I can say that.
Yes, but to be fair, you know, if you realize, you know, for one, Speedy is a USL player. Let's be real. Second of all, if you realize even in the game, you know, somehow Speedy's passes, you know, were rushed, you know, because his first touch was poor on a lot of plays, you know. Speedy's first touch was poor. And because of that, the ball got away from him and he was rushing the pass. And some of those passes were misplaced passes. So we have to
give them a goal too.
Exactly. So he did okay, you know. But we have to remember that we are beat Tapper and I say, oh, Tapper bypass midfield, this and that and whatever. To be fair, you know, we had problems with the midfield going into the tournament and during the tournament as well. DJ playing out of position, Bobby playing out of position.
When me I say, Tapper should have a plan B. Him come with the long ball and say US account height. Have another plan. You can't go to war with just one plan. You have to get over sure.
But does the team have the capability, you know, of implementing those other respective contingency plans that you are?
We are talking about Leon Bailey, we are talking about Daniel Johnson, we are talking about Bobby Reed. Some big name playing. No, me not just use one match. You are talking about one match, me not talk about one match. Every match we play.
Leon Bailey never up on the field.
Leon Bailey play in a what, 2 match?
In play? Yes, sir, I play that, my boss.
Well, he was on the field. He was on the field. 10 man along with him was on the field. So all of them games they were
kind of like taking Ravel's name to the Gold Cup.
Okay, cause even Ravel was on the field too, cause his name go. So
Leon Bailey played 10 minutes good football against Guadeloupe. That's the only thing.
That you give him a lot. I would say 2 minutes.
No, man.
Different from the
I was at the game, sir. 10 minutes, bossy. Him play good because leading up to the goal before even Fleming scored. Once Shaman came off the park, Leon Bailey was roaming. He was playing a better game.
Yeah. Because one time I think a beach.
To be fair, though, you know, in that same time period, they allude to, you know, miscontrol a ball in the hole, you know. See, he never hit the ball roll under him foot in the box. A basics that.
Every time when Leon dribble, the ball is behind him.
Yeah, 90% that time. But as me I said, them players...
This is CONCACAF. You're not allowed to do certain things.
No, the US player. You know, see one US player do it last night too. So
lace a boss. CONCACAF man, him not laugh with people.
The players that we had, we could have at least get a few passes together.
True.
And make the thing look a little bit better. More than as the ball come, boom, upfield and pray say it drop on somebody. No, brother. Basic football, that man.
As me saying a boss, no linkage never there go on in the park because D Cardova Reed was absent. The whole game pressure was on Speedy and DJ.
You know what the thing is about both these situations. We lost to Costa Rica, and myself included, we enjoyed the performance. Because it was a pretty loss. And now we've gotten the opportunity to see an ugly loss. So now we can compare them. The same way we had a little bit a prettier win against Suriname than against Guadeloupe. So it's one of those.
If we had played that like how we play against Costa Rica, we would have beat that US team with ease.
Yeah,
US is a better team though.
Yeah, because Costa Rica is a little bit slower. The US team is more athletic, and the youth and the exuberance that you have them running all over the pitch, and you get me? They try to stretch the pitch as much as possible.
And I look down in Jamaica and them like in the first 10 minutes, no physicality. We look weak. Oh God, man.
All right. I'll take your final opinions, and then I'll call it a night.
One more thing to
Go ahead, Jabbar.
We even blaming Jamaica, even Costa Rica. If we realize how Costa Rica play the ball, once Joel Campbell don't have a good game, Costa Rica side not good enough. I'm watching them live, Costa Rica side not good overall, Joel Campbell alone. Once him the start a build up play, Costa Rica not playing a ball. So taking out Joel Campbell out of the game and have somebody man marking for the whole time, Costa Rica would have looked same like Jamaica last night.
Costa Rica is an aging team,
Yeah.
Joel Campbell still pretty young, 29.
Yeah, Joel Campbell young enough, and he's playing a good league too.
Exactly.
Play Mexico, no?
Yeah, I think kind of Mexico and play.
I think I play Liga MX. But all right, so folks, where do we go from here? Formula, I'll start with you. What's the next step for Jamaican footballers and the coaching team?
From a standpoint of what are we going to do, start implementing now for the longer term or short term?
Well, the first we have to focus on the World Cup, because if we can't plan for the longer term without planning for the World Cup right now, because if we have to plan on going to the World Cup. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, there'll be a contingency plan if we don't make it to the World Cup, like getting new managers, working with some younger players for the next 4 years or whatever.
Proper youth development.
Exactly. So we don't have any control over that, because they'll give us the excuse of funds and sponsors and all of that. So let's focus on what's in front of us now. How do we make it right in the next coming weeks?
Yeah. We need to. Right now, emotions and tensions are running high amongst a number of players on the other side of the pond, because they did not appreciate, some sentiments being shared via the fans of a particular national football team on social media. We need, the midfield right now, we cannot go around a corner. The midfield right now needs a lot of work, right? And the moral of the stories, after me, you probably know certain things. I'm not gonna probably say certain things and things there. But the fact of the matter is the hierarchy need to pull up them socks and get serious with recruiting.
But we've been saying that for however long though. So how do they get it right in 4 weeks formula?
I am hoping that this particular Gold Cup performance would have showed them that the midfield needs work. I am hoping that them not see the Costa Rica game and turn idiot. Seeing the midfield right now, we need to aggressively pursue. I'm sorry, but right now that is the immediate answer.
Any names in mind?
Nathan Redmond needs to be given a call, right? We need to aggressively pursue Isaac Hayden because that has not happened. It has not happened. I can tell you that. We have not aggressively pursued Isaac Hayden, right? We need to aggressively pursue Louis Baker. We need to get, even I don't think Stewart is the answer, but he's still better than what we have now. And to be fair to the player, he does have some good traits as well, right? We need to bring those players into the program. We need to bring them into the program ASAP, right? I mean, I know that because I know that, you know, there will be arguments along the lines of some of these players and their level of interest. But the fact of the matter is all of those names that I just called, Hayden, Baker, Redmond, and obviously Stewart and Cousins and so is on board, right? But those players at some point in time were blowing really hot in terms of interest for Jamaica, right? And also, the JFF has not really and truly seriously, from my understanding of it, pursued those players in terms of putting together how should I put it now, a structured or a professional or a formal approach, so to speak. That's the term I'm looking. A formal approach to these respective players, right? If we don't get them, then fine. But we need to try. We need to try. Casey Palmer needs to be brought back into the fold as well. The man gets exiled for.
Casey Palmer's on vacation with his family now. All right, thanks, Formula folks. Remember, check out Formula on YouTube, Formula Sports. Like, share, subscribe. He has a ton load of videos. They're very informative, very educational as well. Javar, I'll take your view now, and then I'll leave you, Del, for last. Where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, what I think is the number one problem with the team right now, we need a holding midfield. We have a lot of strikers to pick from. We have a lot of attacking midfielder to pick from. We need a left back. We need a right back. Alvarez Powell is a good player, but we need a backup right back. We don't have a backup right back right now because
we have it, man. Oh yeah,
Fisher is a midfielder to me because he loves dribbling, you know. So Fisher is a midfielder to me. We need a backup right back. We need a left back. We need a holding midfield, which is the number one priority. I think Paul Hall gonna help Tapa in some way. I help the team in some way. But now is the time because the next World Cup, after this one, Jamaica go walk into the World Cup. Canada, Mexico, and US automatically qualify. So now is the time. Now is the time to prove ourselves. Because I'm also we get a free pass for the World Cup coming after this one. So now is the time.
I'm surprised if
we
they
can't
still don't make
afford a
it.
coach right now. So just forget about the coaching thing. We have Paul Hall to help Tapa. Let's see what he can do in the following weeks. We have a good crop of players. Hope all of them players we say them papers never come through at the time. I hope them can get called up with the likes of Low, Roof, Antonio, and the Ravel Morrison. I think he's a midfield general, you know. Attacking midfield is good. I think we still need a holding midfield. I don't see anybody to fit that role right now. Daniel Johnson is not a holding midfielder. You understand? So we need now is the time. We need to get it right. Let go of the blaming of the coach. The players them need to step up to. You understand? We carry a
All right.
bunch of unfit players to the league. People now look on it that way either. You understand? So we can't afford a coach work with what we have, and let's see how it work out.
I fully understand Javar's viewpoint. You there?
My thing short, you know. Get rid of Whitmore. Simple.
Having gone through that
Yeah.
thorough discussion where Formula lamented on all those intricate pointers and Javar dissected the team to its entirety, and you still stand by your view.
My decision. My decision. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
All over support. But for everyone who's been on here tonight, thanks for the support. We'll do it again sometime. Remember, we will be doing the giveaways maybe Monday. Turn the notifications on. Keep following up on the channel. You'll see I'll post a flyer when we'll be doing it. And check out Formula as well. Formula, you want to share your page again for me, please?
Yeah, man, the Formula Sports on YouTube and also the Formula Sports on Instagram as well.
So, all right. There you have it. Thanks again, Formula, for joining. Javar, thanks. Everyone in the comment section: Antonio Rogers, Andrew Jackson, TD0OOG, John Doe, Place of Value. We appreciate the support. You guys have been active. You've kept the discussion in the chat alive tonight. And we appreciate all the love and the support. All right. Take care of yourself, folks. Enjoy what's left of your night. And remember, it's Halftime TV. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time.
All right, bro.
Come on, big up.
All right, blessings.